Hello, everybody. I am Mel Barrett.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie.
Welcome to Something's Off. We have a lot to go through today, and only a little bit of it is Karen Reed adjacent. We're
Yeah.
actually talking about a bunch of other stuff too. But Rebecca's going to take us through. Is that hearing over that
It's
that
here. The
happened
hearing's
with?
over. Yes, it was about
Okay,
45 minutes. It was a banger of a hearing. It was a
and it
Miles
was
King hearing. Yeah.
yeah. But Karen Reed's attorneys were there, and they were talking about Michael
So
Proctor's
was
cell
Michael
phone.
Proctor's lawyer. It was
Yeah,
something.
I heard about that. So you're going to tell me a little bit about that, and then we've also had a new filing in the Matthew Farwell, Sandra Birchmore case. I am going to talk a little bit about what's going on with Aaron Spencer, the guy who's running for sheriff in Arkansas. And then I'm also going to talk just briefly about the singer David and how he's finally been charged. And we are going to do that after a really quick break. We'll be right back. Rebecca,
Yes.
I wish everyone in the world, every defendant could be represented by Rosemary Scapiccio.
No
Everyone,
kidding.
every
She's
single person.
unbelievable. I know you have a little clip you want to play of her
Yeah.
in the show, but she said so many good things today. And yeah, she's a dynamo. She also talked about Sean Ellis today.
Mm,
From the trial four. He was the
yep.
subject of the documentary Trial Four, which is how many of us got to know Rosemary to begin with. But yeah, it was something. It was something. I can't wait to tell you about it.
Yeah, please do. Let's, well, actually, we should probably do some housekeeping first, and then we can get into the bulk of what we're talking about. First of all, thank you, Miss Crystal, Chicken Lady, and Amy for becoming new members. We're really
Thank
excited about
you.
that. We are planning, we just had a little planning meeting, actually, if you want to get into the behind the scenes of Something's Off. Our
Yeah,
little planning meeting happened right before we came on, and we have been talking about our members only content, which I'm really excited about.
yeah. We're also talking about potentially moving our Monday show to later in the day.
You guys should become members though, because we had a lot of fun in our members only stream this week. We broke down, we reacted in real time, mostly Rebecca did, to Carrie Roberts in the first interview she's done in a while. I was gonna say
I
it's not
I
the very
said some
first
things
one.
I regret for sure.
You know,
Oh, oh.
I
Somebody
know
was like,
people
"Oh,
kind of came after us too.
so much internalized misogyny." I'm like, "No, that's not what it is. That's not what happened." But I definitely said some things that I wouldn't typically say, and I stand by them. Stand by them.
I mean, we got called mean girls.
We were. I was mean. You weren't mean. I was mean.
I was mean. I think I
But
was
but
mean.
you know what? Somebody who's lied so many times and is
Yeah,
now
I
trying to
don't feel
pretend to
bad
be a
about it.
victim. I don't mind being mean to someone like that. Mean, mean, mean,
Yeah,
mean.
yeah. Farm
Oh, new
Genius,
member.
thanks for becoming a new member. Appreciate you. So what we're
Farm.
gonna do, I think now, don't completely hold us to this because I don't want to hear like you said. This is what we're gonna try to do. Just a reminder, everything we're doing is basically beta testing all these ideas out to see what sticks.
To see what you like.
Um, to see what you like. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to do our regular 2 streams, Monday, Thursday, every week. So those will be like covering what's happening, like what we're doing today, covering what's happening in true crime. We're probably going to have guests on maybe on Thursdays. We're trying to get Aiden Carney back to do a follow up to the two big pieces of news that have happened with him. I am working on figuring out a retrial thing. Not sure what I'm doing with that yet. But we're also going to be doing on this Monday coming up, which I'm really excited about. Our second stream on Monday is going to be a members only, where Rebecca and I react to the McAlberts and Proctor interview that happened right after the second trial, which was on Nightline, which apparently Rebecca lied about.
I never saw it.
Uh, she never fucking saw it. I thought she saw it.
No, I described it like to you, like, how when you get an email that you don't want to
Yeah.
open, like, for instance, if I received an email about some of the things I said in our Carrie Roberts members only stream, I would not want to open that email. There's an excellent chance I'd make Kevin open it for me and read it. This happened before. Like we get, we trash a podcast on Crime Writers On, which is our job. We do that. And then sometimes we'll get an email. Usually the emails are very nice. Usually emails are like, you actually talked about some of the things that we struggled with when we were making this. They're usually super nice. Occasionally, the last time this happened was like 2 or 3 years ago, and I'll never forget it. We got an email, and actually, it's even better. So a woman named Lauren Pissell, who writes a podcast newsletter called Podcast the Newsletter, love Lauren. She quoted our review in her newsletter because she hated this podcast as much as I hated it. And she was like, I don't even need to write anything. I'm just going to tell you what Rebecca Lavoie said, right?
Oh, jeez.
And so then the podcaster, it was Jess Shane from Shocking, Horrible, Transformative, I think it's called, my least favorite podcast in the history of my reviewing podcasts. It makes me so mad just to think about it. She wrote a freaking epic long ass email to Lauren Pissell in response to what I said on my show. Instead of just writing to me, she's a big chicken. And she sent this long email to Lauren Pissell and included a bibliography, a fucking bibliography. I still have the email. Lauren forwarded it to me. I didn't want to look at it. Lauren was like, I don't want to open this. So she forwarded it to me. I was like, I don't want to open it either. So I showed it to Kevin. He was like, you need to open this.
I'll open it.
It is hilarious.
Oh my God, there's a bibliography.
So anyway, bibliography. Anyway, so I feel with that, sometimes there's like a douchey video or like, I kind of felt this way about the Carrie Roberts thing. Like, I don't want to. Like, you
got very red in the face during that whole video.
I got so red. I got so red. Not even because I was drinking, for sure.
So next time we do it, I mean, I think it was fun. It was, relax, a little loosey-goosey. Next time I might take a gummy or something like that. Because I felt like I was the designated driver.
You were.
It was a little bit.
And all I was doing was talking about the size of Carrie Roberts' neck the whole time.
But okay, so you know how you were like, it's our job to review podcasts and say that we don't like them or whatever. I feel like it's our job to also review Carrie Roberts when she's being a total cunt.
Sure, but as you know, I don't like talking to people with women's looks, in particular, or their voices. In this case, though, I made an observation that I didn't know where her face ended and her neck began. That was essentially my observation.
But people were also very upset that we were like talking about the fact that she isn't anything besides a mom. That's like her entire identity.
I don't care about that. I'm
like,
someone's upset about that. They were misunderstanding what we were saying. That's okay. I don't mind. Anyway, join our member, become a member, and watch the Carrie Roberts video. It's unhinged. There.
Yes.
And also become a member because I just ordered 200 new stickers that I will send to some of you who have, when you become a member, what you do is you go to our homepage and our channel. There's a little Google survey there. Fill it out, give me your address, and I'll send you a sticker. And I just ordered some new ones. Can I give show a preview?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really excited about the new ones.
Preview is, so this is going to be on a square sticker with rounded edges. And it's Magic 8-Ball. And it says...
You wrong.
You wrong.
You wrong, Karen. You wrong.
Yeah, you wrong, Karen.
Brian Albert. You wrong, Brian Albert.
No, it was you wrong to James and JFK. This is Kevin from South Boston.
Kevin.
Yo, is this Higgy? You wrong. You wrong.
He's a decorated dude.
Yeah.
One of the other things that we're going to be doing, so Rebecca's going to be sending out those stickers, which she does out of the kindness of her big heart. The other thing that we're going to be doing with the members only is once a month for the Are You Fucking Kidding Me tier, we're going to be doing a pop culture AMA/AMA kind of thing, members only video, which will be like, so I think the first one we're going to do is going to be talking about DTF St. Louis, which is a show we've both watched and we're very excited about. So we're going to just talk about some of our favorite things. And, if you have questions, you can ask questions, but that'll be like once a month for the higher up tier. We're also offering ad-free member videos. Now, I want to explain it really quickly. It's a little bit complicated, so I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. But basically, YouTube doesn't give us an option to make things ad-free for our members specifically. The only way that you can actually get ad-free content through YouTube is if you what am I trying to say?
Don't worry about it. It doesn't matter why. We're going to offer our episodes ad-free if you want to rewatch them later without ads. That's all we need to know.
Okay, I'm just saying, like, people don't understand. It's so complicated. I'm saying why, because it's like, we're having to do a work around YouTube. So it's a little bit of extra work, but we're going to try to get it done because people are upset about it. So
yeah. I did send Mel the design that I made for the stickers, and they are going to go on some merch as well.
Yes. Yeah. Honey Kid, I will put those stickers in the store. Thanks for the $5. I do like I love the new stickers, and we do have merch. I'm actually wearing when are you putting out
my get ready videos?
Yeah.
For members only. I recorded 3 consecutive getting ready videos, skincare, makeup, hair. And I got it was my whole getting ready process. And I shot it in 3 chunks. And I'm going to upload those for members only. And if you don't like them, you don't have to watch them. If it's not for you, that's okay. It's okay. But I've gotten a lot of requests for this shit. So
yep,
I'm going to put it up there. Anyway,
I should have done one today, but mine would have consisted of me shaving my head, and then trying to get all those little tiny pieces of hair out of my skin before I put makeup on, and being naked, and it was a mess. It was a whole thing. I was thinking about it while
you see, poor thing. You're so tense. So much going on. Yeah.
What are you talking about? I'm fine. I quit smoking. I'm fine.
That's what I mean.
I am fucking fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Mel quit smoking, and I didn't even know Mel smoked. So it's news to me. Both of these things are news to me.
You knew. Well, I told you later on in our. I remember this one time you made a comment about Lally being like a chain smoker or whatever, and I was like, oh, she's gonna judge me if I tell her I smoke. So I didn't tell you I smoke.
Oh no, I'm not judging. I don't judge anybody who smokes unless they're my children, which some of them do. But I don't judge anybody who smokes. That's your choice. I judge Lally for smoking within sight of the big crowd at the courthouse. Like, it was so dumb. Like, everybody is going to look at this. Like, knock it off. And also, he was a very unattractive smoker. He was hunchy. It was like you can tell he likes to smoke in secret. So
yeah.
Anyway, we have a lot to get to today. Oh, and also we have almost 8,000 subscribers. Yes. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget, if you don't want to become a member, or you just want to send a little extra tip, especially now that my biggest job has been canceled that I've been doing for 6 years, feel free to send us a tip at the Venmo or Cash App that's scrolling below. I am also very proud of you for quitting smoking, which I think where is that? There you go. Very proud.
It's only been 3 days. It's only been 3 days.
You're doing great.
See what happens.
You're doing great. And should we create Amazon wish list, since everyone's doing that now?
I did. I had the best time creating my wish list because I'm not rich in any kind of way. So when I go to buy things, they're always practical things. I don't know. I don't splurge. You know what I mean? I just I do practical things. Unless it comes to tennis and I need like a new pair of shoes or something like that, then I feel like I can splurge. I sat down and I'm like, just put whatever you want on your wish list. You know, there's like a pizza oven. There's a kayak on there.
I have a pizza oven.
You have a pizza oven at the house?
Yeah, we have one of those outdoor ones. That's like
what I want.
The propane powered one.
Yep, that's what I want. So, did you just freeze? Oh no. It's happening. She was worried about this because she can't go upstairs because the housekeepers are here and it's too loud. So she's probably going to have to go on her phone.
Oh boy. Sorry.
You froze, but you're back. So that's good.
I am back. I will be, I'm going to run upstairs to my studio in a little bit. To have to wait for the cleaner upstairs to leave because, he's vacuuming and stuff. And also, I love this cleaner, but he is a little bit of a talker. It's a little bit of a Carrie Roberts situation. And I like talking to him. I just don't want to get pulled into it when I'm supposed to be doing this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So anyway, I put together, just like Lindsay Gattani, she got stair treads from her Amazon wish list. And I think Aiden put one together and he got like a vanity for his kid. I mean, here's the thing. I have a really hard time grifting, even though this is my job and that's how I'm supposed to make money. But I figured if anybody, like we were talking before, I think, I don't know if Pamabo is here, but Pamabo, my favorite cup, I don't know if you can see it, but it's all smashed.
Boo.
And I was showing it the other day, and Pamabo just like went out and got me one on Poshmark, and now it's like on the way to the PO box, which Lindsay was kind of pissed about because she had bought me one too, but she didn't tell me, and now I'm gonna have 2 cups. But
somebody asked if my cleaner was Tony Danza. Who's the
really
boss?
funny.
What a banger
Who's the
fucking
boss?
show that was.
I love that
Best
show.
part, my favorite story about Tony Danza, and this was true on both Taxi and Who's the Boss. His characters were named Tony because he couldn't learn to respond to a different name.
Wow.
Love him. I loved that show.
Big brain.
I loved that show. That's how I learned how to use a diffuser, was from Who's the Boss. This is an episode where Alyssa Milano is dating a hairdresser and he dries her hair with a diffuser.
I had the biggest crush on Alyssa Milano.
Also, the other thing about Who's the Boss, I mean, I know we are going to get to everything, I promise. The other thing about Who's the Boss is that set totally holds up. That house was gorgeous and still is.
Yeah. Yep.
So.
Yep.
Anyway.
All right. So did we get through everything on housekeeping? Are we done with that?
We can move along.
Okay. Do you want to start off with the KR hearing that just happened today?
Yes.
Okay. And then I'll get into the Aaron Spencer stuff.
There was a multi-party hearing today, and it was.
Uh-oh, you froze. Oh no. Oh God. Just as she was about to do it. I think she's probably going to have to use her Celly cell. In the meantime.
I can still hear you though.
Oh, you can? Wait, you froze again. Yeah. That sucks. Hold on. I'm trying to pull something up over here. I was distracted. Yeah, she's coming back. Let's see. Yeah, she's coming back. Yeah, the whole like asking for money thing, I hate it, but it's also my job. So I just decided I was going to have fun with my wish list. And I was like, screw it. I mean, there are a lot of things on here that I do need, but like, I don't need rainbow compression socks, but I want them. We're getting to the news. D-Cools, we're getting there. There's my wish list. You guys can laugh. You can learn so much about a person based on their Amazon wish list. I just have realized that you can learn a lot about somebody. Everything has ads. I know. You mean the rainbow compression socks? They might become a need. Oh, hi. We were just we were talking about like want versus need and how you can tell a lot from a person's wish list.
So. Oh, really? Like what can you tell from a person's wish list?
Well, I mean, you can obviously tell that I'm like into tennis stuff and cooking and mostly cooking and tennis and coffee and sheets and dog stuff.
I love sheets. I think the new sheets I ordered are going to be in today. Okay, which I shouldn't have ordered because my biggest job just got canceled. But I didn't know it was going to get canceled this week when I ordered them. So, yeah, I just can't buy stuff anymore. All right. So, I was about to tell you about today's multi-party hearing. I'm going to put my phone somewhere where I can let it sit.
What does that mean? I have healthy nostrils.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, just fine.
Okay. You're getting very distracted, I think, because you're quitting smoking.
Probably. Sorry.
It's okay. So I was about to tell you about today's multi-party hearing. So this sounds more complicated than it was, but this was actually a hearing in a bunch of criminal cases. I think it was called under the Miles King docket. Miles King, of course, is represented by Rosemary Scapicchio, who also represents a defendant named Johnson, who also had his case investigated by Michael Proctor. But the purpose of this hearing was that Karen Reed and her team wanted this judge to extend an order that he did that gave them access to the 44,000 pages of Michael Proctor phone dump messages in order for them to use it in a lawsuit that they will be filing in mid-May against the state police and the Canton Police Department. And that lawsuit is going to revolve around the hiring and training of the officers, in particular Proctor and Sean Good. So right now she's allowed to use this material for the O'Keefe's versus her lawsuit. And I believe, I don't think they've been in front of a federal judge yet, but I believe she also has access to it for the lawsuit where she's suing all of the House defendants and stuff. But remember, that's been moved to federal court. So she's not suing the Canton Police and the Massachusetts State Police in federal court. She has to sue them in state court because you can't sue police in federal court. So what this hearing was about today was about giving her access, the ability to use these messages in a lawsuit that she has yet to file. Okay. So her attorney, the argument is basically, it's the same order of protection for the messages. You don't have to worry about us leaking the messages or whatever. We're just asking to use it in this other case. And he made a very cogent, beautifully stated argument to that effect. Essentially, so that's basically it. So her stuff against the House defendants, yep. Anyway, so Proctor's attorney then speaks. And Proctor's attorney made an interesting argument that I could imagine somebody who knew less about this would maybe buy, except for the fact that Rosemary Scapicchio then swatted it down like a cat killing a rat. So Proctor's attorney's argument was, he says he hasn't seen the materials. But these are remember, this is the 44,000 pages of text, et cetera, from his personal phone.
From 2013.
From 2013 all the way through. A phone that he says he has, quote, since lost. Okay. So Proctor's attorney's argument was essentially this. You are planning to sue the state police and the Canton police around the hiring and training of these guys. What does his personal phone have anything to do with that? Because there's no employer in the world who would know what's on their employee's personal phone because they don't ask to see their personal phones.
Before or after they leave the company is what he was saying.
Like when it's it's not part of a hiring process. It's not part of a training process. Like no company is going to be like, show me what's on your personal phone. So his argument was essentially that. And the second prong of the argument was that we know there are photos of women and naked, and there are other messages and so forth that relate to third parties who are innocent, who have nothing to do with any of this. And his concern was that the Reed team would not be discreet with the information. One of the things he said, which was inaccurate, which was that the Reeds asked on a public records request for Sean Good's employment file. The only thing they've received is the letter showing that he was suspended. And within minutes of them receiving it, it was immediately on social media.
Yes.
Which is a stupid argument because A, that wasn't her. That was a reporter that requested it, that posted it. Number two, it's a public document. Like when Corey Hopkins posts stuff that she got from a public records request, that is a public document. So yes, I know what you're saying, Amy. If one uses their personal phone in work-related matter, I get that. But his argument was essentially that his personal phone was separate from his hiring and training, and if that's what the lawsuit's about. So then Rosemary Scapicchio gets up. And she has a couple things she wants to say. Now, she's there for her clients. She's there for King and Johnson. And her whole deal was, why are we protecting this guy?
She said that.
She said, even the protective order, what are we protecting here? She said, it doesn't matter whether or not his messages were used in his job applications or training, but they show who he is. And she said, there are this very racist message, which I'll let you play the video of what she said. She said there's anti-Semitic messages. She said that there's misogynistic messages, but she's like, this is who he is, and it is absolutely relevant. And the point that she made regarding her own two cases, which applies to everybody as far as she's concerned, is this is a matter of public interest. If a criminal, if an alleged criminal
or a politician,
but especially if a defendant had information like this about them, the district attorney would be taking it to the media and it would be in the front page of the newspaper because
Yep.
everything dirty and all bad facts are published and shared about every defendant, every witness, all that stuff. And she's like, he is no different. He's just a witness in these cases and we shouldn't be treating him any differently. And she was mad. Do you want to pull up that video and show a little clip of what she sounded like?
Yes. All right. Let me see if I can make this bigger.
My girl, Rosemary.
All right. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Watch the guy who's sitting right next to her too. And then over to her left is Karen Reed's team.
This is completely different. This isn't like that. It's not a separate entity. It's who this man is. He's a racist, really a racist person from the beginning. Some of the things that he says, Judge, which I know you've heard through the grapevine, but some of the things that he says, like he'll say things like, "It's kill an N-word in Canton Day." Everybody get there. Like,
I get
this is
your
what we're
point.
dealing with, Judge.
I get your
So what are we protecting? That's what I can't figure out. What are we protecting here?
Okay.
Why isn't he subject to the same type of scrutiny that every other witness and every other case is subject to? This is
Okay, I just want to rewind this just a little bit because she said it very fast, but I want you to listen to what she said.
Also a sped up video, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, slightly. It's okay.
No, it's that one. Oh, but maybe the actual video is.
Yeah, the person who posted it sped it up. Yeah.
It's kill an N-word in Canton Day.
It's kill an N-word in Canton Day is one of his texts.
Everybody get there. Like,
I get your point.
He said, yeah, she said, it's kill an N-word in Canton Day. Everybody get theirs.
No, everybody
is in
get there. And then she didn't say what they were supposed to get. Everybody get there. And I was like, whatever that word was that was next, rope, gun, I don't know. But like, it sounded like it was like every gather up Avengers and get your gear. We're going to do that. It was disgusting.
Oh, I heard it
disgusting.
as it's kill an N-word in Canton Day. Everybody get theirs.
Oh, maybe that's right. Maybe that's right. I misinterpreted it.
Either way, really horrific. And that is in Michael Proctor's phone. So imagine he's saying that about Black people. Imagine what he's saying about Jewish people. Imagine what he's saying about women. Imagine what he's, doing with nude images of women and men and who, like, whatever the fuck he wants, because he never had any accountability.
Right.
Ugh.
By the way, I'm very close to being able to go upstairs to my regular desk, so you're not going to see me on
Don't
this.
worry about it. Don't stress about it.
So Scapiccio says all this. Then there's another defendant's attorney who basically he's like, I agree with everything she said. And he also was like, I don't understand the order of protection. Oh, the other thing Rosemary Scapiccio said, this is actually important. Her client, Johnson, is in jail. His trial is in November. Okay. She says he can't properly prepare for the trial because they have these 44,000 pages of materials from Proctor's phone. And her client is only allowed to look at them for 2 hours a day because of the limitations that have been put on his access to them. So she also wants the judge to expand that access for him in particular. So her whole thing is if it's not under protective order, he could just have it in his cell and read it. So, but he can't do that if it's under protective order. So she can't properly prepare for trial. So
wait, the other attorney is Colin Albert's attorney? Where? Who? That's what Jay says, or Jeff.
There was another attorney there, but there were actually a few other attorneys. There's an attorney there for another defendant. The Commonwealth's attorney was there, and
2 hours per week.
2 hours
he gets to look at.
Oh, I thought it was 2 hours a day, but I guess 2 hours a week makes more sense. So this other defense attorney agreed with Rosemary, same deal, and then another defense attorney said he had no objection. Okay, so then the Commonwealth spoke and said, we are not protecting Michael Proctor. We are treating everybody who wants this information the same way, whether it's Miss Reed and her team, whether it's the media, whether it's Miss Scapiccio, whether it's everybody. And we don't have an order that says that we should share the material to let Reed use the material for these purposes. And if they haven't filed a suit yet, they shouldn't be asking now, was essentially her argument, which I also understand. But they're going to file a suit in a matter of weeks. The judge took that into consideration. The reason they haven't filed it yet is because the presentment date is not here yet. And I guess the state police waived having to wait for the end of the presentment period, but the Canton police decided not to waive that. So they have until May 15th. And at which point they can then file this lawsuit, which it sounds like they're planning to do right at that time. So yeah, it was a wild hearing. The judge was great, asked good questions. but learning that there are 44,000 pages of these in there, and one of the attorneys, by the way, called the disclosure breathtaking. Breathtaking. I believe he said breathtaking and disgusting, something like that. But he used the word breathtaking, which really stuck out to me, because breathtaking doesn't imply, oh, you got to dig through 10,000 pages to find one bad thing. Breathtaking implies it's all real bad. It's all real bad.
Christine Mitchell sends us £5 and says Krowski is flipped because he wasn't properly supervised at all for Proctor. He used to, and then they said Krowski first protected Proctor. I'm assuming that Krowski, yeah. Oh, Sweetie Nose says Krowski's there representing De Los Santos. De Los Santos is the other defendant, along with Miles King.
Yeah, De Los Santo was whose name I remembered because it sounded like Delisandro, which was a very big New Hampshire name. I'm just going to check my ring and see if my the guy left. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I can still hear you.
Yeah, the silver-haired dude with the glasses in the background, I recognize him now. He was Colin Albert's attorney. I remember that now. But yeah, this was I didn't get to see most of this. Rebecca was covering this because I was driving today, but I did watch a couple of bits, and I just have to say Rosemary Scapicchio she's such a good lawyer, and I don't ever, when I'm watching her, I never feel like she's really playing games. I always feel like she is just there to represent her client, and she's so smart about the law, and she is the way that she speaks for her client. It's just, I love her so much, and I wish there were more Scapicchios running around out there who could defend people like Edric Foss. I'm not saying that Ahmad Cruz did anything wrong. I love Ahmad Cruz, but I wish that Scapicchio could help with Edric Foss case as well, which we just actually wrapped up watching on Retrial with Mel. I got it, Christine. Thanks for the £5. Krowski was all for Proctor. Yeah, I remember that. Scapicchio equals no nonsense for sure. But it's not just that. It's like she wants to make sure that the law applies to everybody. And that's like, you can feel that. She like exudes that. You know what I mean? She is like, why are we protecting this vile, racist, homophobic, anti-Semitic, misogynist Michael Proctor? Why is the Commonwealth protecting him? How often do we get to see a lawyer stand in front of the Commonwealth or a judge and say, why is the Commonwealth protecting this person? We don't get to see that very often. I don't know if it's because people are afraid to say it, or because I don't think Rosemary's afraid of anybody, and it's not like she's going to lose business. And if anybody starts like, ruling against her because they don't like her, that's going to be very obvious too. So she's like, I don't give a fuck. I am here to represent my client, and I'm going to ask hard questions, and I'm going to make sure that everybody knows what's going on. Oh, we got Rebecca back.
I'm back.
Yes. Yay.
I'm back.
You got the swear jar right next to you too.
I do.
I definitely
should
put some money in there. I dropped a few F-bombs while you were gone.
Oh, really? What about?
I was just talking about Scapicchio. Like,
she's the best.
Just the idea that, her main goal is to not sugarcoat anything, not to play games, but to make sure that every defendant is seen and heard, and that their case is put on in a way that, the law doesn't bend away from them, but it bends toward them, which is the way it's supposed to be. And she holds judges accountable, and she holds attorneys accountable. And she also is just like asking hard questions. Like, how often do we see an attorney stand in front of the Commonwealth or stand in front of a judge and say, who is the Commonwealth? Why is the Commonwealth protecting this man?
Right. And she has,
we don't get to see that.
She has the benefit of having defended one of the most famous wrongful convictions in the history of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, the Sean Ellis case. And she talked about him in court today. She said, when I was doing the Ellis case, we knew the cops had committed crimes, because that was an issue in that case too. They were dirty cops who committed crimes and also like framed this kid for a murder he didn't do. So she said, we knew the cops had committed crimes, and it took us 18 years to be able to connect their crimes to the Ellis case. Like they couldn't figure that, they couldn't make the connection saying that that's who these guys are.
It's crazy.
Ergo, it took 18 years. So he was convicted. He was tried 3 times. He was going to be tried a 4th time, and she got him out. And the documentary that you should watch about that is called Trial 4, and it will blow your mind. It's so good.
Go watch Trial 4. It's so good.
You will love Scapicchio. You will absolutely love her.
Yeah, she's amazing. So what are we waiting on? What was the end results? Like how did this end today?
Ended with him taking everything under advisement, as these things generally do. And at the very end, Reed's attorney did speak up again and say that what Proctor's attorney said was patently false, that Reed leaked that to the internet, and that it's also a public document. So with the fact that they keep using the word leak isn't unnecessarily incendiary, which is true. There's this whole culture around this. I saw it in the Roberts interview. I see it every time you see one of the House defendants or anybody, or, what's her face, Kate Peter, talk about this case. They try to shock people with very normal online behavior. Yes. It's like, you wouldn't believe it. They go on YouTube and accuse and make and have an opinion
and talk about my neck.
Or they go on YouTube or they go on Twitter and then post a document. Yeah, it's fucking public document. We posted it. So they try to use new media to shock old judges. Like that seems to be a real pattern here.
I think it works sometimes.
It appears to have worked in that other hearing the TRO hearing between Aiden and Meredith. That judge didn't understand. I'd be surprised if he has Wi-Fi. I'd be really honest with you, that dude. So
yeah, he was just like, when he was like, wait a minute, why, who's this Ray from Dallas? Why are we talking to Ray from Dallas and Purplehead?
That is a good question, though. Like, I don't know who those, I know who those guys exist, but I don't know who they are. Come on now.
I know. It just was really funny to me. That guy, he was hilarious. He reminded me of Sean McDonough. No, Sean, what's his name?
Sean of the Gulf?
Sean McDonough. Yeah, Sean McDonough. Yeah.
That dude is wild.
He was the Sean McDonough judges.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. He got red. Yeah. He got really upset. He was like, why am I hearing this? Anyway, so that was the hearing today. I'm looking forward to hearing the results of that hearing. I'm looking forward to reading this next lawsuit that's about to get filed.
Yes. Are you talking about, which one?
The one against the Mass State Police and the Canton Police.
Oh, right.
I'm especially looking forward to the Canton Police part of this, by the way. Canton Police has been dragging their feet about disclosure. There's some good, and it's interesting because I think Proctor's attorney said that Proctor's attorney said that Michael, that Proctor was the subject of a federal investigation and had been cleared, and they closed it. And he also said that Good was suspended for reasons unrelated to the Karen Reed case. I'm like, how do you know that if you haven't seen these 44,000 pages of material? You have no idea.
You were telling me just before we came on that Corey Hopkins got another dump of, what was it? What do you,
it looks like she's getting some disclosure. It looks like she won another suit.
For you.
She filed she was suing them. But she filed a dismissal with prejudice, which means she won't sue them again because apparently she got everything she asked for, which is the rest of the sidebars from trial 2. At least that's how it appeared to me when I saw the list of disclosure. So
does that mean that we're going to know about The Rock finally or no?
It's the only thing I want.
I know.
It's the only thing I want. If I learn nothing else.
Well,
it's probably innocuous and it probably means nothing. It's just a flipper who bought a house and she had no idea, that she didn't know that someone had died there when she bought the house. She had no idea.
Somebody died.
Like I don't know why there aren't disclosure rules. Like there's some disclosure rules here in New Hampshire around stuff like that. Violent
with
crime
real estate.
And so forth.
Yeah.
But I guess they probably framed it as an accident. So it was just an accident that happened in front of the house as far as that.
Usually, I don't know if it's new. I don't know how specific it is to New Hampshire, but here, I believe, if I remember correctly from my days in real estate, that you only have to disclose a death if it was like related to like HIV or something that was really contagious. So if somebody died in the house, you don't have to disclose that unless it was like they had the measles. Oh, by the way, somebody from Florida
stigmatized properties are not required to be disclosed in Massachusetts.
Oh, somebody jumped on a flight to Logan from Florida and they had measles, by the way.
Amazing.
What the? Okay. So that happened.
Sellers are not required in Massachusetts to disclose if a property was the site of a suicide, felony, or alleged paranormal phenomenon.
That's
No
my
ghosts
favorite.
here.
It's like, if you have ghosts, you don't have to disclose it.
Ghosts. So those
Um,
Amityville horror people, if they were in
God.
Massachusetts, those poor people.
What was that? Rhode Island?
No, it's in Long Island. It's right near where I grew up.
Connecticut? Which one was in Connecticut or Rhode Island? There was one in
I don't know,
Connecticut
but the
or Rhode
Amityville
Island.
horror is in Long Island, in Amityville.
Is it
Long Island.
the house, the actual house?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I would love
Still
to
there.
go see that.
And they changed the little windows at the top. They don't look like little eyes anymore. They made them square windows, which does not make the house look any freaking different. It's a gorgeous house. It's gorgeous, and it's right on the water. It's a beautiful house.
I think the new
in a very
Amityville
fancy
house,
neighborhood.
it's going to be Rex Heuermann's house now.
Ugh. Thing needs to be
Can you
torn down.
imagine? Yep. I know. That's what I'm saying. That little bug in here. That place is haunted for sure. Okay, so do you want to go into the Farwell filing, or do you want me to tell you about Aaron Spencer?
I want to go into the Farwell filing after, but I know I just had to leave and come back. Can I just leave and come back, and I have to go to the bathroom, which is like so stupid.
No,
I always do that before we
cannot.
tape, and I didn't today, and it was a huge mistake. I might be a couple minutes.
Rebecca,
okay,
you are not allowed to go to the bathroom. Yeah, go ahead. She just fucking left. She's like, I'm out of here, bitches. Oh my God. I keep going back to the Scapiccio of it all, because I just wish that more lawyers, I wish there were more lawyers like Scapiccio, lawyers who are like not afraid, you know? I remember I was thinking about the Veronica Rodriguez case, which, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I covered it in a 7-episode second season on the In Between podcast, and it was about the woman who had recorded her own sexual assault as evidence, and when she presented it as evidence, when she told the cops that she had been sexually assaulted, the cops turned around and charged her with felony wiretap because it was a 2-party consent state, so she needed his permission to record him sexually assaulting her. This recording was played in court, and a jury heard it, and they heard her say no, and they heard her like ask him to stop and things like that. And the jury found her guilty of wiretapping. The reason I bring that up is because the attorney that she had in the trial was a local attorney. He was young, but he was so afraid of having to come up in front of the DA and the specific judge again, because they're in his community, that he didn't put on a good case. He didn't fight the way he should have fought. And one of the things I love about Scapiccio is she doesn't give a fuck. She doesn't give a fuck who the judge is. She doesn't care who the DA is or the ADA. She doesn't care who she's going up against. She is there to represent her client. And if she gets chastised, or she gets yelled at, or gets yelled at, or, you know, a judge starts to act funny toward her, she does not give a fuck. Like, she is there to represent and defend her client. And that's the way it's supposed to be. But when I see lawyers like capitulate or kowtow, like Veronica's lawyer literally said something, and this is like obviously hearsay, and I'm paraphrasing. He said something along the lines of, well, I have to be careful with this judge because I'm going to have to come up in front of him again. Or I have to be careful with the DA because she's vindictive. It's like, who gives a fuck? You are the lawyer representing this person. And now your client is going to jail for wiretapping their own sexual assault. You know what I mean? So imagine if Miles King didn't have Scapiccio. I think that they would be just like folding in front of these people. Yeah. Let's look at some of this chat here. Ooh. Okay. D Cool said, please disclose house deaths if the house is haunted. Did you hear the Proctor's lawyers say he's been through enough? Yeah, I did, Christine. I'm like, really? He's put so many people. I mean, he's doing it now. The fact that there were like 18, 19 cases that are affected by Michael Proctor's investigation. And probably a lot of those people are women, Black men, possibly Jewish, possibly gay. Like, the amount of prejudice this man has, he should have never been allowed to be a cop. But there's no way to figure that out beforehand, I guess. I don't know. Is there? Tony, she had to go bathroom. She had to go bathroom. What movie is that from? Did the owner sell again? She'll put you in the basement with the goats. Oh no. Oh no. I love that movie. I thought I was Annie when I was a kid. That was crazy what his lawyer said. That lawyer was crazy. I mean, the idea that Michael Proctor's had it tough. Well, I'm fucking sorry. Do a real investigation and don't try to like pin something on somebody, pin a murder on somebody when they didn't commit a murder. Like, do the actual investigation. God knows what he's done in other cases where there was a black defendant. You know what I mean? It's just like, do you mean whack jobs or see you next Tuesday? Yeah. Whack job cunt. I'll say it. I'm heated by DA and the district court that I work at because I dare to actually defend my client. I'm hated. I think you meant to say I'm hated. Yeah, but that doesn't, I mean, I'm sorry, but it doesn't matter. You know, if you feel like that's happening and then you start to see judges or, you know, DAs or whatever, coming after you with like either bad rulings or I don't know, then you can report that kind of stuff, but it shouldn't matter. I mean, if you are a defense attorney, I identify as a whack job. Me too. I mean, at least Massachusetts standards, I do. If you become a defense attorney, it's your job. That's what you're there for. You're there to defend your client, to make sure that their constitutional rights aren't violated. It shouldn't matter how a judge feels about you or how the DA feels about you. It just shouldn't matter. Like, you should be representing the way that Scapicia does. Hi, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm taking some Pepto. I have a cramp situation.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are those gummies?
Yes.
I got to get some gummies. Gummy Pepto. That's awesome.
They're so good.
Gummy everything. I do gummy vitamin C. I do gummy for sleep pills. I love gummies.
I'm going to be a little slouchy in my chair because my tummy is bothering me, but I'm good.
Sorry. Do you need to go?
No, I'll let you know if I need to go. I may need to go to the bathroom again.
Okay. All right. Well, let me tell you about Aaron Spencer.
Okay.
So let me remind you guys who Aaron Spencer is if you don't remember. He is the father from Arkansas who, okay, so there was this guy named Michael Fossler. He was a friend of the family's. Aaron Spencer's teenage daughter, I think she was 13 or 14 at the time, started going over to their friend's house. And while she was there, she met Michael Fossler, who was like, I think in his 60s. Don't quote me on that, but he was an old guy. And he started grooming her when she was coming over to the house. And to the point where, like, he got her cell phone number. They were, you know, having private text messages. She was very young. They ended up, I believe, having sex. And he was picked up finally and charged with all the things that he should have been charged for. And then for some reason, this woman, this judge, Elmore, in this case, released this man on $50,000 bond, which means you only have to come up with 10% of that. So he had 43 felony accounts against him, and she let him go on $5,000. And as soon as he got back out, one night, Aaron Spencer, who's just like a local guy, I think he was either a plumber or a construction guy, doesn't really matter. Just like, oh, he's a farmer. I think he was a farmer. He and his wife hear their daughter's dog barking. And so they get up. It's in the middle of the night. He goes into his daughter's room. The dog is barking next to the bed. And he realizes that in the bed is not his daughter, but it's her hoodie and it's stuff to make it look like she's there. She is snuck out of the room. And she is with Michael Fossler, the guy who was out on bail for sexually assaulting her and raping a child, basically. And so Aaron they call 911, and 911 is like, you know, stay away from them. And he's like, well, then get your asses out here. He has my daughter, who's like 14 years old. And they're like, okay, but stay away from him. And so time's going on, nothing's happening. He jumps in the truck finally. He goes looking for them, and he finds them. And he literally follows them for 6 miles, is on the phone with 911, and is like, why aren't you guys out here getting him? I've been following him for 6 miles. And they're just like, you know, stay away from him. Don't do anything. We're on our way. And he's like, he's worried that he's going to cross over the border. He's not going to be able to get to him. He's going to do something horrific to his daughter. He can see his daughter in the front seat. And so he does like a pit maneuver where he like basically kind of runs Michael Fossler off the road. And he gets out of the car and he approaches and he tries to get his daughter out of the car. And either she won't get out of the car or he's not allowing her to get out of the car. But whatever happens, Aaron Spencer ends up shooting several times. Like I think he unloaded 15 times into Michael Fossler and killed him. There is dash cam footage of this though. Michael Fossler had a dash cam camera on his car. So Aaron Spencer gets charged and he's supposed to be going to trial. The trial was not going to be televised because the same judge, Judge Elmore, who was the one who let Fossler out on bail, is overseeing the trial still. So Aaron Spencer's like, well, fuck it. I'm going to run for sheriff. You guys aren't doing your job. I will do the job of sheriff if you're not going to do your job, if you're not going to protect children. So he runs as a Republican against the sheriff who has been a sheriff in this town or in this county for 13 years. And he gets 53% of the vote, unseats the 13-year incumbent, and also defeats
in the primary. He won the primary.
In the primary. Defeats the incumbent John Staley by 26% and defeated David Buford by 19%. And he's now going to go on against the Democratic candidate, Brian Mitchell Sr. in November. But that's if several things happen. So here, where we are right now, this case is going to trial in June of 2026, June 22nd of 2026. And Aaron Spencer's team has just made a new filing. So there are a lot of things that happened in this filing, but probably I'm going to focus mostly on the main one, which is the most explosive in my opinion. Aaron's team is accusing the police of improper protocol and destroying evidence. So the police were instructed to turn off their body cameras at the crime scene. I don't know why, but they were. The lead detective, McCain, failed to photograph or log the dash cam into evidence. And then he kept it. This is crazy. He kept it in an untaped envelope in his personal office for over a year. And McCain viewed the dash cam on his personal computer. The SD card mysteriously vanished before the camera was finally transferred to the Attorney General. And McCain testified that he saw 15-minute video files on the SD card, but an expert got on the stand, I think it was during some kind of a voir dire, and said that this specific camera model can only record a maximum of 5-minute increments. So Spencer wants a complete dismissal of the case because they don't have the main piece of evidence that would exonerate him, basically. They lost the footage. They lost the cam. They said all this stuff was lost, but this guy was actually just holding it. McCain was holding it at his house. And so they're asking for a complete dismissal or at the very least an adverse inference jury instruction. And it would instruct the jury to assume that the destroyed footage would have favored the defense. I think that's a pretty strong ask. I hope that he gets that because I don't think they're going to dismiss the case.
Yeah. There's a new judge though, because the other judge was removed.
So the other judge was removed because the previous judge ruled that the defense could introduce evidence under Arkansas Rule of Evidence 404A regarding the victim's reputation, right? So this was part of the reason why she was let go is because of her conflict, because she was the judge that ruled that he could get out on $5,000 bail. And because he got out on $5,000 bail, he went after Aaron Spencer's daughter, and then Aaron Spencer killed him. So she is conflicted out. But
she also had a gag order, which the state Supreme Court said was unconstitutional, right?
Yes. So yeah. Before she was released from this case, she also ruled that under Arkansas Rule of Evidence, Michael Fossler's reputation of violence and sexual predation couldn't come in. And it's like, but that's what this whole case is about. I was just making this argument in the Foss case because of the rape shield laws in Georgia really screwed Edric Foss. But anyway, the defense is arguing that the restriction goes against the established case law and rules of evidence. And this is about community. So this has to do with the judge arbitrarily limited the testimony strictly to his reputation within Lonoke County. And so the defense is saying that they're not going to use the word community and that it shouldn't be based on it shouldn't geographically be limited to where the pertinent character trait must be established. Do you know what I mean by that? Like they're saying basically they're focusing solely on Lonoke County in Arkansas. Because he does have other issues outside of Lonoke County that he was in trouble for with children. So the legal precedent here was that federal and state case laws explicitly state that character evidence cannot be strictly limited to geography. And the defense is arguing that a violent person is still a violent person regardless of what county they're in. Hello. So as far as the other judge, Elmore, they excluded, this was another thing that I couldn't wrap my head around what this judge was doing. First of all, letting a man out who had raped a child on $5,000 bond. She also wasn't allowing the defense's expert to come in, and the expert was an expert on sexual abuse of minors. And I don't understand why. Like, I don't understand why she wouldn't let that expert in. But the defense filed 2 motions asking her to reconsider. Finally, she agreed. This is so fucked up. Finally, she agreed orally on record to reverse the order for the expert. But she said that she wanted to defer her decision on Carrie Lando, who's the expert, on their admissibility until after hearing evidence at the trial. But she was then removed as the judge. So it was never put on record.
Oh, okay.
So the reason that she was removed was because of the conflict that I told you about. She's the one who bonded him out basically on $5,000 after facing 43 felony charges, and then the overly restrictive sort of courtroom access. And this comes down to she was only going to allow 50 people in the courtroom, including press.
Right.
So this was like a huge national and international story, and to keep cameras out of the courtroom or to keep it this low key wasn't going to be good for anybody. So basically the filing that they're putting in right now, they're asking for the case to be dismissed because I don't understand what the police have to gain by trying to destroy this dash cam footage. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, it would probably reveal that they arrested a guy who acted in third-party self-defense. Like the destroying of the footage. I mean, destroying exculpatory evidence is just destroying exculpatory evidence. Like that's right. That's a pretty bald-faced and bold thing to do. Sort of like missing library footage, for instance.
Yeah. Or inverted Sallyport footage, for instance, or putting pieces of taillight at the scene of a crime. Yes, I get it. But the thing is, so what's interesting to me about this footage, though, and that we're never going to see it, is Aaron Spencer, it's been proven that he fired 15 of the 16 shots from his gun. And I believe that most of them went into Michael Fossler. So is that defense? Does it matter?
So yeah, I have, as we talked about this before, I have mixed feelings about it. I believe that Aaron Spencer, by the way, used to be a cop. I think he was in the military. I think he was a cop.
He was Marines.
Yeah. And I think he was also a former cop, so he knows how to shoot. I think that it would be challenging to find a jury that will agree. What are the charges? 2nd-degree murder or something?
I don't have
2nd-degree murder. Okay. 2nd-degree murder with a firearm enhancement. I think it's going to be difficult to find 12 people who will agree this was 2nd-degree murder. Because everybody is going to put themselves in his shoes, right? A lot of people will. Like, I would have done the same thing, right? He was about to steal my daughter.
Yeah.
He would have driven away. He would have taken her, whatever.
Yep. Sex traffic.
So that's going to be difficult. I have like a problem with like the framing of heroism around somebody who metes out their
Yeah.
own justice. This case is unusual, though, because of the clear and present danger to his daughter. Like,
Right.
it's not like that case where that guy went and killed that judge who was molesting his daughter. Remember that one?
Yep.
You know, I hear about stories like that and everyone's like, good. And I'm like, not good, you know, because it's like, it's the same thinking that leads to lynching. It's the same thinking that leads to all sorts of vengeance-based self-justice stuff, which is terrible. So it's more than a slippery slope. That being said, it does seem like there was a clear and present danger to his daughter being imposed by this man. And I don't think that a jury will think 15 shots are worse than if he had just fired one.
Yeah, I just think that, okay, these are the things I'm questioning. If Aaron Spencer fired 15 shots or however many shots he fired, why, and if that's what it showed on the dash cam, why would the cops want to get rid of that footage?
I don't know. I mean, maybe the footage showed something threatening that the dude was doing. I don't know. I mean, you would think if that's their theory of the case, that he shot more than he needed to, he didn't have to shoot this guy, he shot more than he needed to, you would think they would want that. So clearly there's something, not clearly. If it was in fact destroyed on purpose, then like there's obviously something exculpatory on it, or some malfeasance by one of the officers once they arrived at the scene.
Got it. Okay. All right. I have to pee now. You go.
Oh, okay. Hi, everybody. Sorry if I had to leave earlier. You know how it is. Sometimes you just gotta go when you gotta go. Anyway, I'm very interested in this. I'd love to know in the comments what you guys think about this, because I saw somebody posted, good story, but it's still murder. This is what I'm talking about. It's like the thought of indiscriminately killing the person who's doing a thing it's a frightening thought. I just don't think it's going to be easy to find a jury that will all agree that this guy committed a crime. That's what I think. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't have opinions about everything. And this is one of those ones I need to think about a little bit more, because I certainly see that this was not just vigilanteism, that there was definitely an aspect of the imminent danger, the clear and present danger to his daughter. She had been taken. She was in the truck. He could have killed her, you know, all that stuff. So, yeah, I don't know how I feel about this one. I think I lean toward it not being second-degree murder. That's my take. Someone says we don't know if the bad guy had a weapon. That's an excellent question. He did have a car, and some people view those. Some people view trucks and cars as weapons. Let's see. This guy's court date was coming up, and she was the only witness. It makes sense he might kill her to even shut her up since she was on bail. Well, that's an excellent point. He called the cops, so he was trying to do it the right way. Another excellent point.
Hi. Sorry. We're on the wrong side. I
have to go again. I'll be back. Sorry.
Get out of here. This is crazy.
This is crazy. This is so menopausal.
I know. So menopausal. We both have really small bladders. Okay, let me go through some of these. She may have actually, I was listening, but let's see. Vigilante justice is very different than defending your daughter actively from an imminent threat. Yeah. We don't know if the bad guy had a weapon. I think she just mentioned that. Yeah, we would know if we could see this. I just don't understand why cops would get rid of or mess with dash cam video. It doesn't make any sense to me. What is their, like, what do they have to do with it? Like, what does that have to do with them? It doesn't. Do they care who shot who? I mean, I guess I'm trying to figure out, because I assume that when people, you know, get rid of evidence, it's because they're trying to protect one side or the other. But like, what are the cops? What's the skin in the game? I don't get it. Hey, Rumplefort Skin. Yeah, I think this is one of the main arguments here. She was the only witness against him. So he was probably going to try to kill her. And I think that her family understood that, which is why Aaron Spencer followed him, and they tried to do everything right. They called 911. They told them what was going on. They said, I am going to go, follow them if you guys don't get out here. And he followed. I mean, think about how long it takes you. This was back roads at night. Think about how long it takes you to drive 6 miles, right? That's how long it took. And the cops were still not there. And the cops didn't get there until after he had shot Michael Fossler. So why was it taking the cops so long to get out there and take care of this little girl? I don't understand. Ugh. There are no perfect victims. This particular victim was a very terrible person. You don't get to shoot someone 15 times. Who knows what a jury will say? I really don't know. I mean, I assume it's in Arkansas. So I assume an Arkansan jury is going to side with the dad who shot 15 times because they are pro-gun and they are pro-dad and they are anti-pedophile, which most of us are anti. I would hope all of us are anti-pedophile, but I know not everybody is. Side Eyes just said, I agree, but I wonder if he was in such a headspace he wasn't realizing he kept shooting. He thought his daughter was in horrific danger. I don't know. I mean, and we would know more if we could see the tape. And the idea that Aaron Spencer is like, you ruined this evidence that I could have used, tells me that he thinks that showing the tape would help his story. So I don't know. Patter Bulldog says the deceased was the aggressor and kidnapped his daughter. Justified use of force. Yes, except he's a civilian. So, I mean, if that's the case, I mean, I think what Rebecca is arguing is that will open a door to people in the future being like, well, this person, I thought this person was breaking the law, so I shot them. That's a scary place because that means that it could be a white person being like, I don't think this black person should be walking down my street, so I'm going to shoot them. It does open a door. It's kind of a scary place, but I understand also, and I'm proud of the fact that he did what he did, but we don't know the true story. We don't know exactly what happened because there's no dash cam footage. We can't see it. Yeah, Romado said, I am 100% against the death penalty. I wish people weren't so gung-ho on AS heroism. I don't think AS murdered the guy. Well, what do you think happened? Who were they protecting? He was protecting his daughter, his teenage daughter. Spencer followed all the court process, but it failed him. I would hire Rosemary over any attorney. Agreed. Could have been a boomer and did it by mistake. Wait, who was the boomer? Aaron Spencer's young. I think he's only like 36. So, hey, Chris Denton. We don't have all the evidence, but I feel like that was a clear danger to his child. You can't be a criminal and a victim at the same exact time. Yeah, I think that what Fossler was engaging in was definitely engaging in criminal behavior. He was breaking his bond. He was breaking his bail by doing what he was doing. And the cops weren't, doing their job. And so I think it was getting to a place where Aaron Spencer was starting to feel like, oh shit, he's going to hurt my daughter, or, he's going to cross state lines. Something's going to happen. And so he started being proactive. Welcome back, Rebecca. Oh,
thank you. I also had to put a t-shirt on because I was so hot.
I know.
This is a very menopausal episode of Something's Off. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
It's really, I started all the interruptions and the studio stuff and musical studios. We're going to figure out a better taping time so stuff doesn't happen. But it's also just menopause. When you have menopause, sometimes you have stomach stuff.
You gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah.
Sometimes you have a hot flash that causes stomach stuff and you need to go put on a t-shirt because you're sweating through your sweater.
All of a sudden, you have to pee, even though 30 seconds ago you didn't have to pee, and now it's an emergency.
That's right.
Sucks.
So
I hate it.
So fun.
Darlene said the police had ample time to get to the guy, and they did not. They took their time getting to them, and he was part of their system. Former law enforcement. I'm just taking my meds to go. I'm next. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I mean, we're just still debating, Rebecca, the vigilantism versus imminent danger, and it's tough. This is a really tough case because I think it was Chris Denton who just said he can't be the victim and the perpetrator in the exact same moment.
Right.
That's a really interesting way to put that. And I feel like that's where this case lies. And that is like a razor's, edge, because yes, I understand the kidnapper was an ex-cop. I get that. But I don't feel like even cop. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm being naive about
But I thought
this.
Aaron Spencer was a former cop. Hold on.
No, Aaron Spencer is a Marine who became a farmer. The kidnapper was a cop in a different county.
He was an Army veteran.
I thought he was a Marine. Well, anyway, he's a veteran.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like, I don't know. I just don't know. He shouldn't be charged for murder, Romodo says. He kidnapped his daughter and would not let her go. You guys are all right. You're all right. But what is a jury going to say? And I'm saying that an Arkansan jury is going to say a father who is protecting his daughter from a pedophile and chooses to shoot that guy 15 times is probably going to get off.
Unbelievable.
Don't you think? And then he's going to go on to become sheriff.
Potentially.
No, not potentially. So here's the other thing. Okay, let me break down how this happens for him. Okay. There are 3 different options to keep in mind, right? If he is acquitted, he'll proceed to the November election as normal. And if he wins that, he is sheriff. This is a Republican-leaning county.
Mm-hmm.
More than likely, if he is acquitted, he's going to become sheriff. If he's convicted before November, felony conviction makes it him legally ineligible to hold office.
Mm-hmm.
Lonoke County Rep, the Republican committee would likely have to hold a special convention of delegates and pick a new nominee. And then the third option is if convicted after winning. So if, let's say he wins, let's say he beats the Democrat in November and he gets convicted after that, he'd be removed from office and the local quorum court would appoint a replacement to finish his term. But so there are a bunch of options. There are a lot of options. There's a lot weighing on this trial. The trial is in June 22nd. I can't imagine we're not going to know whether he's been convicted or acquitted before. I mean, obviously we're going to know that before November, unless they keep postponing the trial.
Unless they keep postponing, yeah, that would be. But I think a judge would be motivated to do an expedient proceeding given the time frame of the election. So as long as he's ready to go, I don't think it's going to be a long trial. And I don't think it's just very hard to imagine him being convicted. Really hard. I mean, he's a white man, veteran, he's a salt of the earth, probably like appearing member of the community. This is a very different proposition. And than if a different profile person did exactly the same thing. It's a very different proposition. He seems to have a lot of advantages. Plus, he has people like Bob and Ali Mata advocating for him. So,
Bob and Ali, I think they're probably going to be in the courtroom. They went down for what was supposed to be the last trial, but then it got canceled and they had to come back. So, Kendra says Fossler was a sheriff in Indiana years ago.
I would.
He had. Go ahead.
If I were the defense attorneys, I wouldn't do any opining in my opening or closing about him being some kind of hero. In fact, I would say the opposite. I would say something like, no, we don't think it's heroic that somebody had to kill another human being, but this was a matter of necessity.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's sort of downplaying any like sort of folk hero aspect to this, because that's what the prosecution is going to play up. They're going to play up that he's basically being celebrated for killing a person and he's fully embraced that. And now he's running for office and all this stuff. And I think that if the defense takes a more measured approach, I think that a jury will have less conflict when it comes to, thinking about this. So.
And I think the DA in this situation is definitely between a rock and a hard place, because it's like they have to bring charges against him. They don't have a choice. This is potentially murder. He unalived somebody. It's not like they could just like be like, well, we're not going to really charge this guy. You know what I mean? They can't do that. And so they have to file charges. They have to bring this to trial. I don't know. I mean, I think it's going to be televised because it now has national attention. But before, Judge Elmore wasn't allowing that to happen, as far as I understand it. So
We'll find
if
out.
it
I don't know if
is,
that's been ruled
yeah,
on yet.
I don't either. There was a really harsh gag order in this case before, and now I don't think they have it on there anymore. But yeah, so I think if it is televised, I would like to cover it for sure.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
yeah.
For absolute sure.
Yeah, but what I was saying is there's this like fine line between like, because everyone's like, well, he was protecting his daughter and there was an imminent threat and he did the right thing. But I think like what you were saying before is that opens a door to an old white person being like, well, this black person walking down the street was an imminent threat to me, so I'm going to shoot him.
Which we know happens all the time.
So when cases like this,
types.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. It's
I don't
really
think he's going to be convicted. I mean,
I don't think so either.
I would rather just give my opinion on whether or not I think he's going to be convicted, and I don't think he is. That's my opinion right now.
It was
Especially
shocking.
if he's able to raise money and get a good lawyer. And I guess the Matas are doing a fundraiser. There's a lot of fundraisers on his behalf going on, including by them. So, yeah, it would be great if he could get a good defense attorney and we'd see them put on a real practical measured case rather than histrionic, he's a hero case. I think that would, I know I wouldn't be appreciative of that if I were on the jury, but I would have a hard time convicting him again, because this is the mitigating circumstances here they're all present, you know. This isn't like stand your ground, right? Somebody knocked on my door and is it my legal right to shoot them, like in Florida or whatever. This isn't that. This absolutely isn't that. So he did everything he was supposed to do. It didn't work. And then he had the last resort. So it's the 15 shots that I think is the detail that bothers some folks. But I think, he's probably trained to keep the trigger down once he presses it. You know what I mean? That's so do you know what kind of gun it was? Was it a semi-automatic, like a Glock or something?
I don't know off the top of my head. I've just been sort of watching this case and paying attention to it in the periphery. So I don't know every single detail, but I think that there is definitely some overkill here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Amanda
Look at that.
said that too. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's also reasonable as a parent who, in the moment of adrenaline, and who knows what happens once Michael Foster got out of the truck, if there was a scuffle, if whatever, and this guy was releasing the adrenaline of having to chase this guy, this predator who has your kid in their car and isn't letting her go.
Right.
Like the adrenaline might have been so much that he just unleashed, you know what I mean? But I don't.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about him running for sheriff. For sure.
Yeah.
I find elected officials in law enforcement, it's like judges are either appointed or elected. AGs are either appointed or elected, depending on where you live. Sheriffs are usually elected. And when you think about the political motivations of running for office, are those the same motivations of keeping the peace and serving the people? When you have to run and win based on ideology, right? It's like ideology is not neutral, So I think that there's something there, but I don't know. I probably wouldn't convict him, but I probably also would not vote for him. So I'll leave it there for now.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. I mean, he doesn't have the experience to be a sheriff, and because part of it is also like, you're organizing people and you're making sure that they're doing the right things. I don't know if I would want a vigilante to be a sheriff,
right?
Because their vigilantism could lean in a different way than mine would, and I just don't know who's going to be protected and who's not, and who they go after and who they don't. And, that.
Listen, everyone keeps saying he's a Marine, but all these headlines say Army veteran. Just look it up. I mean, maybe
Yeah,
he was a
I think
Marine,
you're actually right. I think you're actually right.
but
I think he-
all these headlines say Army veteran accused of blah blah blah. So I don't know what to say, but I don't know what to say about that.
yeah. Um,
Marines are a division of the Navy, by the way, not the Army. Anyway, so do you want to talk about the new horrible filing in the Farwell case?
yes, of course I do.
Okay, I'm ready. And
Great.
my waves of stomach issues seem to have passed. Okay, so Matthew Farwell was arrested by the feds for the murder of Sandra Birchmore, a
Right.
young pregnant woman that he had groomed and had been sexually assaulting since she was 14 or 15 years old. Okay. And he has not, like, I think he's shown up in court like once. Like, there've been like almost no appearances, almost no hearings. Like, this case is wild. It's really under seal, and there's a lot going on in the background, and you kind of get the sense that the feds have more later to sort of unveil. There have been so many delays, like,
Yeah.
so it's really interesting. But Farwell is trying to make a case for getting out on bail. Okay. And his case is that, he's not even the father of Sandra Birchmore's baby. Doesn't matter. I mean, as the feds are pointing out, he thought he was, right. So anyway, so he's trying to make a case to get out. So far, they have filed a couple of motions. The feds have to push back against this idea. And there's a new motion that I just want to share with you. Just a trigger warning, trigger alert, whatever. This does contain some pretty horrible stuff, but it's worth taking a look at, in my opinion. Okay.
Thanks for becoming a new member, Christine.
Thank
we really
you.
appreciate that. Hold on. Rebel Foreskin was saying that Aaron Spencer is an Army combat veteran who served in the 82nd Airborne Division as a paratrooper in Iraq during the late 2000s. He is not a Marine.
Thank you. By the way, Marines do not take kindly of people being called Marines who are not Marines.
No,
my father-in-law was a Marine. He was a Marine through and through. R.I.P.
Yes.
Okay. So, what this basically says, it's, the whole thing about not letting somebody out on bail is that, are they still a danger to the community? Are they still, we know the word vigilante is a trigger here. I don't think that she was calling him a vigilante. I think she was just talking about the sheriff's race and how he could be positioned in the sheriff's race. Okay. So the prevailing argument for denying bail and making somebody continue to be held is that they're a danger to the community. And murder defendants almost never get out on bail. Occasionally they do, but it's relatively rare. And he's actually accused. He's accused with a bunch of crimes, not just the first-degree murder. But so what this says is that they have not gotten great disclosure because they're supposed to be getting filtered versions of his iPhone data. And it says that they have, the Farwell's attorneys have withheld more than 80,000 communications, but that a preliminary review of the data they have has disclosed new information that was not available to the government when it's filed its first memorandum. So this is the memorandum to deny him bail. This new information, which is described in more detail below, is probative of his risk of flight and obstruction. Okay, this is the gross part. Farwell's data reveals that in 2021 and 2022, after Sandra's death, his devices accessed pornographic material that suggests he maintains a sexual interest in teenage girls. On November 21st, Farwell's phone accessed a video titled, I'm skipping some words here and there just so that I can get through it. Accessed a video titled Barely, of course he spelled it Barley. Barley legal teen gets cream pie from stepdad. Now, it says this video is approximately 23 minutes long. It depicts a young-looking adult female, petite in stature, with slight breast development, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So there's also videos, one called Shocked and Impregnated, which is fucked up. Videos targeting fucked up family teen, and Pog teen stepsister moans, "Don't you dare come inside of me." So what they're making the case for here is that he has an active interest in kids, and he's a phebophile. He's an active interest in teenage girls and is therefore a danger. They also discovered in the previous filing, it was revealed that his DNA, while not under Sandra Birchmore's fingernails, was in fact on the ligature that was used to kill her. So they appear to have a very, very, very strong case. The one thing I will say about the videos it is hard to go on Pornhub or whatever and watch a video that doesn't have a completely provocative and disgusting title. They just do. You know, it's a lot of stepsister bullshit, stepmother bullshit. Like the whole fantasy about fucking someone in your family, I don't get it. But there's a lot of the sort of forbidden, you know, it's all about the forbidden. People who are like big consumers of porn, they need something like a little bit more forbidden. And there's a case to be made that that is a thought crime, right? So watching a video with that title, with those that imagery, is not in and of itself a crime, but they're saying that it speaks to a crime he could commit. So it's like what was that movie called with the precogs and Tom Cruise? What was that movie called?
Precogs and Tom Cruise.
Yeah, the precogs who could tell what crimes were about to be. Minority Report. It was sort of like there's sort of like a Minority Report argument to be made, and I'm not making that argument. I'm just sort of guessing what the defense might do here, that he's looking at the same kinds of pornographic videos that every other person who accesses Pornhub or YouPorn is looking at. This is just the titles of the videos, and they all blah, blah, blah. But the girl, in fact, was an adult actress just pretending to be a young girl. And it's a common fantasy, blah, 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 blah. And that's a thought crime, and we don't police thought crimes. There's an interesting case in New York, and there's a documentary about the so-called cannibal cop, which was a guy who was a cop who had like written fantasies about cannibalizing, and he was arrested for that, not for doing it, but for thinking about it. And I believe that I just want to make sure I don't get this wrong. It's a very interesting case. Cannibal cop. United States versus Val. He was convicted by a jury of conspiracy to commit kidnapping. The presiding judge acquitted Val on the conspiracy charges, notwithstanding the verdict. That's right. So the judge set aside the verdict in that case. He ruled the prosecution had not proven that Val's online communications went beyond fantasy role play. So this is an important case. U.S. versus Val. It's a Supreme Court case. It was a court case in the Southern District of New York. So it was a federal case, and it set a bunch of interesting precedents around the whole conspiring to kill a crime thing. It also, there's a whole thing too around entrapment that's kind of involved in cases like this. But as for Farwell,
I lost you.
I'm still here.
You're still here. You just went out for a second though.
Oh, as for Farwell, all of these things do not help him for sure. Right. Like the government's case seems to be very strong. Might want to curb the wording a little bit for the YouTube. I know. I'm just reading from the thing. I know it's really hard.
Who was it? What's her name? Cat, not William. Well, not Williams. Cat Williams. Yeah. I don't know if their channel got shut down or if they were just suspended for a period of time because they were covering a trial. And I was thinking about the Kelsey Fitzsimmons trial, but they were covering a trial where in the trial they were talking about, and one of the defendants one of the witnesses was handling a GUN, and their channel got shut down because the not the copyright police, but the YouTube police basically said that they were promoting
violent content.
No, specifically related to the GUN. And they were like, I was never holding one. I was never showing it. I wasn't promoting it. It was on a trial that was on YouTube already. And I was thinking about that craziness during the Kelsey Fitzsimmons trial when the fucking prosecutor was just like firing off in the courtroom. And everybody that showed that like could be in trouble. And it's just like, this is ridiculous. Like there has to be a better way to do this,
Yeah. So anyway, I'm sorry that I said the language that might get our whole channel taken down, Mel. I didn't mean to do that.
No, it's fine.
I was actually looking at it, and I don't really know how all that works. I usually work in audio, where you can basically say whatever the fuck you want to say, and without a platform that sort of polices your content. So anyway, there's
a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. I have a feeling that when we see more documents in this case, they will be even more horrifying than what is in this really horrifying filing.
Well-
All the filings in this case have been pretty horrifying, and it's a pretty horrifying case. So the last thing I wanted to mention, though, is that Sandra Birchmore's cousins have come out publicly in support of Adam Deitch in his run for Norfolk County District Attorney. Remember, Michael Morrissey, the current Norfolk County District Attorney, has not charged Farwell with anything, despite having the exact same evidence to work with as the feds.
Great job, Meatball. Yeah. Why? Why isn't he charging Farwell? Why?
Because he didn't
Is it
charge
because of Guarino?
cops. It's because he didn't prosecute cops. He didn't punish cops. Like cops can. I think Morrissey is dirty. My opinion is that Morrissey is dirty, and so he doesn't necessarily look down on other dirty law enforcement people. I mean, I think that that's kind of what's going on there. And, there's a reason why he was likely under investigation by the feds. It wasn't because of the John O'Keefe death. That just, I think, was another thing to add to the pile of things they were already looking at. And I think that corrupt people like corrupt people very often. So.
Yeah. Honey Kid asked, did we see the case in Chicago where one cop shot his ex-girlfriend who was his partner in a chase? Did you see it?
No.
It's crazy footage.
I'll look it up. I'll look it up. Can we talk about it next time?
Yeah, look it up.
I gotta wrap it because I'm starting to feel a little icky.
Okay, there's only one other story that I wanted to tell you about, and this is going to be a quick one. This is just an update. So the singer David D4VD has been charged with first-degree murder and other crimes in the death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas, who was reported missing in the spring of 2025. Rivas's body, I don't know if you remember this, but her body was found in bags in his Tesla.
In the trunk,
who was
right?
sitting, who was in the frunk. There is no trunk in a Tesla. It's a frunk, which is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Okay. Never mind. Her body was sadly decomposing. It was found on September 8th in the frunk, which was in an impounded Los Angeles. The car was impounded in Los Angeles. And the police are saying that her death likely occurred in the spring of last year. So they discovered this on September 8th. And he just, I think today, was arrested finally. She was in his car. And they just arrested him. So
there are some very conservative prosecutors and cops who, like, the cops really want to make the arrest, but the prosecutor won't let them because they can't make the solid case yet. That happens all the time. So that doesn't really surprise me, honestly.
All right. Well, her body was found in his car. So the medical examiner is saying that she was more than likely stabbed to death by some kind of object. And that they are setting a date. He appeared in court on Thursday when a date was set for a preliminary hearing to determine whether the case will go to trial. So prosecutors told judge that, sorry, I missed that part. That was not what I was going to say. So he pled not guilty, obviously, to the charges, because that's what you do. And there's supposed to be a May 1 hearing date. So
is this like a famous person?
He's 21. His career was just starting to
What was he doing with a 14-year-old girlfriend?
He not only was she 14 when she was murdered, but she was actually 13 when he started dating her. And her family knew about it.
So did a lot of R. Kelly's victims that their families.
Oh, I know.
It's wild. So how is he famous? What is he famous for?
He's a singer. He's got something. He's from Houston, I think.
Can you sing me a David song?
Absolutely not. I have never heard of this guy until I heard there was a body in his Tesla. So
Broken Baker says she was 11 or 12 when they met.
Yeah, probably because he's been, they say they have raw data from several digital devices that are 20 to 30 terabytes of material. That's what the prosecutors have.
That's photos and videos.
Yep.
That's not emails.
No. NBC LA legal analyst Royal Oaks said if they have evidence that he had
Royal Oaks?
Royal Oaks.
No.
Yeah.
Sorry,
just like
that's a small detail that
Tuesday
distracts
Gazette,
me tremendously.
Tuesday
Okay.
Gazette and Royal Oaks. That if they have evidence of child porn, everybody is going to say he's a terrible guy. The question is, what specific evidence do they have that links him to the murder? I hate it when people do this. I hate it when legal analysts do this. They put this like weird little kernel, like, well, they may have a ton of stuff that looks really bad for him, but I'm like, she was in his car.
Mel,
Yeah,
excuse
go
me.
ahead.
You
Go
do
ahead,
that
go
all the
ahead.
fucking time. Just
Do
FYI.
I?
Yeah. You
Do I?
say they just didn't prove it. Like, yeah, all these facts are really bad, but they just didn't prove it. Like, you do that all the time. I love you, girl,
Okay.
but
All right. No, thanks for calling me out. I appreciate that. I'm talking about preliminarily. This is happening
Okay.
even before he's had a hearing.
Okay.
Like you're already saying, because he's a celebrity. That's the way it reads to me. Because he's a celebrity, they're like, well, he could have been looking at really horrible child porn, but that doesn't make him a murderer. You're absolutely right. But like, why are we even talking about this yet before any evidence has been presented? Or, it's just like, I don't know. It's strange.
That I agree with you on. I think that armchair quarterbacking, that whole TV genre of legal analysis is not great for our criminal legal system or for defendants. I mean, let's look at Nancy Grace, for instance. How many people did she
Yeah.
get convicted because of her histrionics? People to this day think that one of JonBenet Ramsey's family members killed her because of Nancy fucking Grace and her
Yes.
ilk. They did not, by the way. There's definitive evidence that they did not. Handwriting evidence, DNA evidence. Oh, they did not fucking kill her. But people, and they so didn't kill her that they won a $70 million lawsuit against CBS for having a documentary with that stupid ass Jim Clemente in it, who alleged that Burke Ramsey ate a bowl of pineapple and then killed his sister. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, so I don't think that armchair legal quarterbacking in cases, especially when they're just sort of being rolled out, like I know I've been on court TV and stuff, frankly, didn't love the experience. I haven't gone back since a while ago, actually. Yeah, I just don't think it's good. I don't think it's good. I mean, so many people have been convicted because of the coverage of them. So many.
And I think also there's a lot of special circumstance allegations in this case too, which means the cops have something, right? Because these special circumstances they include lying in wait, murder for financial gain, murdering a witness in an investigation, and an allegation that Burke is David, personally used a deadly and dangerous weapon, a sharp instrument to commit the crime.
His name is Burke?
His last name is Burke.
Do you see the name of his song? I just looked it up. This is real. Romantic
about Celeste. Oh, he wrote a song that wasn't released about Celeste. Like Celeste is in it about murdering her.
Oh my God.
So, I mean, the financial gain allegation is stemming from that his career was being threatened by his alleged sexual relationship with Celeste, who was an underage girl, which makes sense. And Celeste was considered the key witness in that investigation, warranting and so this is literally coming. This is bookending or transitioning.
It's very Farwellian.
Well, not just that. It's just what we were talking about with Aaron Spencer. Like Aaron Spencer was worried that Fossler was about to kill his daughter because she was the only witness against him in, a pedophile case. And so, Aaron Spencer was worried that his daughter was going to be killed. This is the same thing here. Celeste was the only witness against him in this investigation. And he did it. He killed her, which is what Aaron Spencer was worried was going to happen to his daughter. So,
well, it's also a federal crime to kill a witness in a case. As we know, that's how they got Farwell. I just want to throw this up here only because I just want to address it. Is it true Ramsey's grandpa had something to do with the Epstein files? Not true. Categorically untrue. So the JonBenet Ramsey case is very interesting to me. And I am fascinated by the coverage of it. I am fascinated by how the facts of it so differ from what people think about it. And then what they think about it is because of what they saw on television. Like, that's it. And there was a photo in the Epstein files of Jeffrey Epstein with a young blonde girl, and her face was redacted. And this rumor started online that it was JonBenet Ramsey. Completely untrue. Her family's come out and said no, and that's cruel. Knock it the fuck off. But one of the things, just as an example, that people remember about the Ramsey case is that the mom, who died, by the way, she's dead. She was seen wearing the same clothes the morning of JonBenet Ramsey's body being found that she wore the night before at a party.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, who does that? You know who does that? I do that. I very frequently, like, will in the morning put on the outfit I was wearing the night before to go walk the dogs or whatever, because you haven't like gotten dressed and showered yet. And
Yeah.
those clothes they still smell like you, so you may as well put them back on, right?
Right.
So there's details like that, like convicted them in the public sphere. And then you have cases like this David psychopath who, like, all the evidence in the world. And I'm sure there are still some folks out there who will be like, yeah, but did they, you know, can they definitively say he's the one who chopped her up? Like, there's, you know, that's going to happen too. So anyway, I think this case sounds real gross.
It is.
And
it's awful.
the sort of,
I just can't
celebrity
believe it
element
took
of
so
is-
long.
Yeah, I can't believe, probably because he has money.
Yes.
People with money have good lawyers, and good lawyers,
Yep.
like, they'll just have their clients walk out of the police station unless they're ready to arrest them right then, which is what you should do anyway. So
Yeah. The only other there was that good piece of news that we had about Elizabeth Smart. Do you want to talk about that?
Oh yeah. By the way, I'm suddenly feeling a lot better. I'm not as notice
good.
I'm not as red anymore. I was having
Yeah.
a freaking horrible. I don't know. I'd love to hear from other people in menopause out there. Do you ever have hot flashes that are tied directly with stomach upset, like nausea, or
Well,
happens to me all the time?
whenever I have stomach upset and like it causes a hot flash because it basically is making me feel like I'm gonna be sick. So I don't know.
I get hot
I don't know.
first, and then I start feeling really sick. And these
Okay.
have saved my life so many times, because you saw this when we were in DC and I was feeling bad.
Mhm.
Just the flavor of this tricks my brain into thinking it's going to be okay. So I just I start calming down, because I get a lot of anxiety, especially like when I'm on camera and I'm not feeling well. And I'm like, oh God, am I going to make it? And so these are very, very helpful for a couple of reasons. But yeah, so watch out for that. So yes, Elizabeth Smart, who of course is the woman who as a child, as a teenager, was kidnapped and was missing for 9 months from her Utah home, Mormon community, very Mormon family. That actually is relevant to the story for several reasons, because her dad, for instance, was very active in the church, very community minded, and he would hire like indigent people to come and work in their house and do stuff. And for a while, one of those guys was the police's main suspect, and he died. And the police basically thought the case was closed until Elizabeth's family came up with some leads, and Elizabeth saved herself by getting her kidnapper to take her back to Salt Lake City, because he was going to take her to the East Coast. And she was like, I just feel like God wants me to go back to Salt Lake City. And that the police happened to be looking for her at the same time she landed there. So anyway, she sort of saved herself. Anyway, Elizabeth Smart, she's now in her 20s. She's got kids. There's a lovely documentary about her that you can watch on Netflix that I did a You Can't Make This Up episode about. RIP, You Can't Make This Up. Is now doing bodybuilding. And there's this hilarious photo of her. I only say hilarious because I think bodybuilding as a sport is hilarious. My friend Rob used to do it, and he used to have to paint his body with self-tanner and eat nothing but broccoli and chicken for like 6 weeks. And it was so gross and so funny. Anyway, she is now a bodybuilder, and it looks like she's doing pretty great. Do you want to show that picture?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now.
Also, by the way, Elizabeth Smart's dad has since come out as gay.
Has he?
No longer, oh yeah, he's no
I
longer
had
married.
no idea.
Yeah. This is a very
Wow.
interesting family. They're a very talented family.
are.
They have a lot of abilities. There she is. There's our girl, Elizabeth
Crushing
Smart.
it. Good job, Elizabeth.
Now,
Smart.
Elizabeth Smart, if she had a YouTube channel and you're not allowed to use the RAPE word a lot, she'd probably get her channel shut down, because she talks very openly about what happened to her when she was taken. And she feels like it's very important to not sugarcoat it by saying, you know, he hurt me. She uses the words, she describes the acts, she talks about it in great detail, and she thinks that is very important. And I really applaud her for that. So
I do too. I love to see her just like celebrating her body and being comfortable, because I think a lot of sexual assault victims have sometimes they struggle with their body, you know, physically with their body. So I'm really I'm glad that.
Yeah, I'm glad too.
Tara asked, what did you just hold up there? I get the same thing. Feels like the color is going to drain from my face if I get super hot.
It is Pepto chewables, Pepto-Bismol chews. It really, like, nausea, heartburn, upset stomach, indigestion, diarrhea. That's what it claims. And it really does work. I find that it works.
The jingle's in my head now.
Yeah, I find that it super works for when your stomach is like, the word upset stomach was not a phrase I ever understood before. I know what nausea is. I know what diarrhea is. Upset stomach, I'm like, what is that? That's something I've learned. It's basically like you're just on the edge of maybe being nauseous. You're not quite there. You're just on the edge of maybe having to do a real bad number 2. You're not quite there. Just something's going on. You don't know what it's going to turn into, and you know it's probably not going to go away, and you can't stop thinking about it. That's what upset stomach is.
Yeah.
And this is the best for that. Way better than Tums. Way better.
Amanda asked, this was a little while back. I started. When is your show with Ellen going to be? You were asking about Newslight. I am waiting to see when Ellen is available. Tomorrow night, we can't do it tomorrow night because she records the rundown with Joey on Friday nights. So we'll probably do it sometime next week, but we are going to be talking about, and this should be interesting. I'm sure that YouTube will be all over us for this, but it's called, The Atlantic is calling it the Rape Academy. So I don't know what else to call it, The
Grape Academy.
The Grape Academy, I guess. Yeah. So what we're talking about is basically there's this workshopping message boardy type thing where about 62 million men mostly go on the site to figure out creative ways to grape their girlfriends, wives, strangers.
Jesus Christ.
And it's upped to 72 million now ever since that report came out. So we're going to be covering that because both of our podcast partners don't want to talk about it on our shows.
I have a question for you, and a completely off topic.
It's also political. Yeah.
What do you think of this Mike Vrabel story? Have you been following it?
Mike Vrabel?
Mike Vrabel, the coach of the Patriots.
Not at all. Have not.
He's very successful coach of the Patriots. He's in
the past year, sure, but yeah.
Yeah. So he, there's these tabloid photos that came out with him canoodling with a sports reporter named Diana Rossini.
I did hear about this. Didn't she lose her job?
She lost her job, and he is now taking an undetermined amount of time off from his job to go do counseling or therapy, whatever. I have real mixed feelings. I don't know. So the journalism side, I get, right? I wonder, I'd like to think a male reporter would have gotten the same treatment, because having a relationship with a subject and not including it, not disclosing it to your outlet is actually very problematic. That's a breach of journalistic ethics. And that is what happened. Also, they're both married. So I'm sure there's a good reason why they kept the relationship secret. But apparently this relationship's been going on for a while. And as far as Vrabel goes, who the fuck cares? Like, I like to think that if I had an affair with somebody in my personal life, and even if I had a profile job, I would like to think that my job would be like, yeah, that's her personal life. I guess there's some issue with him dealing with the press or whatever, but like, who says a person has to be perfect to be good at their job? I think that's real weird that we're still doing this, that we're still taking people's personal lives and sex lives and affairs and making them fodder for public punishment. That's my opinion. What do you think?
I do think that there are some ethical issues with the journalism side of things. Like, I don't think that should be happening. I also don't think people should be cheating on their spouses.
I don't think anyone thinks that people should be cheating on their spouses.
I think some people do. Probably some of the men who are in the Rape Academy probably do. And I think I want to make sure that I get this right. I don't know if it was The Atlantic. I think it might have been CNN who uncovered this. But anyway, one of the major news outlets uncovered that story. I think those kind of things need to be handled in private. I think that if you're like a serial cheater, so like if you are, I don't know, if you're like a big CEO of a company, like a well-known, like, I don't know, Tim Cook or somebody like that, and it's well known in several circles that you go out and you cheat on your wife who has cancer. Like, think about like Newt Gingrich. You know what I mean? Like somebody like that. That's newsworthy. We should be telling that story. Also, somebody should be telling his wife.
John Edwards.
John Edwards.
A piece of shit
Do
that
I
guy was.
do I think that some of that information is used as weapons by competitors? Sure. That's what happens in our politics every day. Do I think that's okay? Not necessarily. Like, I think that we should be handling some of this stuff in private. And I don't know if people should necessarily be losing their jobs over consensual sex.
Right. That's the issue.
Unless there's a power dynamic.
Right.
At play.
And there are weird dynamics between the two of them because she was a sports journalist and he's a major
Right.
figure in sports. To what extent, my questions are, I haven't seen anyone print a story like this, so I don't know if it's true, but did she ever write a profile of him or cover him in a positive way in one of her stories? Like, is there evidence that now granted, I'm not saying this isn't problematic. She ended up resigning before I think she could lose her job, but it is a breach of journalistic ethics to not disclose a personal relationship with a source or potential source to your outlet. That is something we are all required to do as journalists, not independent journalists. They can do whatever they want. But like at my station, because it's New Hampshire, when I worked in the newsroom, my husband was a lobbyist. Kevin used to be a lobbyist. We had a producer reporter whose now husband worked for a congressional candidate, now congressman. We had our news director's wife at the time worked for a big lobbying organization for teachers. So because it's New Hampshire, everybody is related to or has a relationship with somebody that's involved in some way and something we'll be covering. But you have to disclose it. And then what happens is you don't get assigned stories that relate to that.
Sure.
So assuming she didn't disclose it because she was married, that is problematic. And that actually is grounds for termination as a journalist. Him taking a step away, I don't know if the organization's making him do it or he's just trying to make up with his wife and get out of the limelight for this nasty story. But I just don't think that people should be punished for what they do in their bedrooms. I just don't. It's like, again, a slippery slope, right? It's totally a slippery slope. So I don't know.
But I mean, I am sitting over here, still laughing hysterically about, Big Titty Brian and Christy Nome.
Yes, but that's hypocrisy on top of it.
That's hypocrisy. That's the problem.
Vrabel is not being a hypocrite. Vrabel isn't a politician. No. Vrabel isn't out there preaching morality. Vrabel isn't out there directing policy that, is surrounded by some fake ideology of family values. He's a freaking football coach in the NFL. The NFL, by the way, one of the most problematic organizations in the world and a nonprofit that doesn't pay any taxes. I love NFL football. Don't get me wrong. I'm a huge fan, but that organization is problematic as heck. Teams are always giving very light punishment to players who commit actual crimes like domestic assault and domestic violence or murder or, sex crimes or, these players get.
Aaron Hernandez. What's his name? What's his face? I can't ever think of his name. Kraft showed up to be a witness for Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah, no, this has been going on for many, many years. It's very problematic. Yeah. So you would think that cheating on your wife is that's not even a blip on the NFL morality radar. So anyway, I just have I have an issue with it. And I'm just he's also, by the way, really good at his job. So if he sucked at his job, I always think about this, about the CEO of that company and that HR lady who got caught at the Coldplay concert, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. He either resigned. I think they both ended up resigning from their jobs, which I think is ridiculous. Unless they were bad at their jobs. Okay. Now, granted, there is a power dynamic issue there. There's all that issues there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree with all of that. It's a workplace. Companies can fire whoever they want. That is fine. Right. And it was very public and it made them look bad. But were they good at their jobs? So this is a little different, of course, but Vrabel is very successful and good at his job. And I guarantee all these players are you cannot fire Mike Vrabel. You can't. We made it to the Super Bowl last year. We hadn't made it for years because we had crappy coaching. Everyone thinks it was Brady and Belichick. It wasn't. Brady, they were a good pair, but whatever. the Patriots didn't have either one of them last year, and they made the Super Bowl because of this incredible coach. So
Yep.
anyway, I'm not a fan of him leaving his role, but we'll see what happens.
I guess we'll see what happens. The only time, like I said, that I have a major issue with it is if there's a power dynamic at play. I'm not a big fan of people cheating on their spouses.
It happens
but
though.
I know it happens.
It happens
I know.
all the time. Like all the
But
time.
me not being a fan of it
experience.
doesn't mean
Yeah.
that people should be losing their job over it, is what I'm trying to
Right.
say. Like, I'm just not a
Right.
big fan of it. What do you think about, this is another off the wall topic.
I
but
love it.
What do you think about the Atlantic story about Cash Patel and what's happening with the supposed defamation suit against the Atlantic now from Cash Patel?
It's a horrible mistake to sue an organization like the Atlantic because I promise you that story went through extensive legal review.
It sure did. Well, they had 9 sources for some of the.
The Atlantic is doing
incidences.
incredible work right
Yes,
now. I have a
are.
subscription. I would recommend to anybody who was really interested in really interesting political coverage. Very solid, good journalism. Of course, and also the Wall Street Journal is doing some incredible work right now that nobody
It's
can
crazy.
read because the Wall Street Journal subscription is so expensive. Like I said, though, I don't condone it, but you can use an online paywall remover to get around any of these paywalls. But the Atlantic is doing incredible coverage. The Cash Patel story was amazing. Somebody on Twitter yesterday, I think, was trying to imply that they were scared because they changed the headline of the story online.
Yeah.
That happens all the time. Headlines are edited after a story's been out for a few days all the time. It changes
They didn't
SEO.
say that they changed it. It didn't say that they changed it. It said that they were testing out AI titles.
That's what they do. So what happens is that that you have algorithmically, and this was happening before AI too. I used to be digital director in a newsroom. If a story wasn't performing to the level we thought it should, we would change the headline. Happens all the time. Or if a story is performing really well, but it's been on your homepage for 3 days and it looks bad to have the same story on your homepage for 3 days, you change the headline. And sometimes you change the lead photo so that people can still discover it, but it looks like a different story. So anyway, I am really
Cash
Patel's not
Cash
going
is
to do
not. Well, he's also not the attorney general. He's the FBI director.
Yes.
But the story is, how do you feel about the fact that as part of the Atlantic story, the FBI director, they basically had to use the jaws of life to break down a door that he was behind because they needed to get to him because something was happening that the FBI needed to be there for. And he was drunk behind the door, and they literally had to jaws of life the door to make sure that he to wake him up.
This is a really good example of a non-political conversation that somebody will say in our chat to not talk about politics. This is not political.
Are you serious?
This is the head of an executive branch based federal law enforcement
Justice
agency.
Department.
So we have an agency
talking about
here.
True crime.
Yeah, I mean, we have an agency here that is charged with investigating federal crimes, like the Birchmore case, charged with investigating all these different things. And you would like to think an agency like that would be in competent, measured hands, even if it's in the hands of somebody you have a personal disagreement with, right? You would like to think at least, I may disagree with how this person is going to run this agency or whatever, but the integrity of the intent is there. The law enforcement background's there. The interest in having clean investigations is there. But yeah, it's something. It's really something. So anyway, yeah, there's that. There's also going to be potentially a Blake Lively trial, which will be an interesting thing to follow. The judge dismissed a lot of the charges in that case. In my opinion, yet another one that is, people love to take sides, black and white, just like Depp and Heard, but these things are never, ever, ever, ever binary. And Blake Lively can be a shit person, could also have some legitimate claims. He could be a great person. He could also be a shit person. There's a whole spectrum of possibilities. But it's only interesting because of the way that she has used statutes around sexual harassment and all that stuff to get these claims out there. Very incendiary, lots of leaks. And also the use of these, just like with the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp case, the use of these companies like Black Cube or whatever they're called,
Mhm.
that go and do these online
Yeah.
manipulation campaigns. Like, it's
Well,
wild. That stuff is
and
super
that
interesting.
he used like his PR firm really like went after her. Like that's the thing. This is the two things, the two different sides of this case are two PR firms
Yes,
fighting for fighting for the PR campaign.
correct.
And who's going to win that? That's what, yeah.
Yes, and her
Yeah.
husband is a billionaire, so they can literally
Yes.
spend as much money as they want on this thing.
Yep.
Like,
And not only are they billionaires, they're also some of the most powerful people in Hollywood. Yes.
they were. By the way, I'm not a Ryan Reynolds fan. Haven't been for a while.
No,
Not a
me
Ryan
either.
Reynolds fan. I also hate. I'm not a big fan of that dude from that podcast. Dax Shepard.
Ugh. Yeah.
There's just a sort of brand of famous guy that's a very specific brand that I don't like. This like snark all the time. Places themselves as the hero kind of thing.
Hey,
and
I want to run something by the audience that you and I were talking about before we came on, just to see if
Sure.
I can get some feedback right here. So I've been trying to figure out what to do with the retrial series. And you know, I've been talking about doing Murdoch and Peterson, but it is difficult to do like full trial days when a trial is not live. And sit down and talk about it and basically take all that time, right, to sit down and go through these cases. But I have been thinking a lot about something that just recently came out. We were talking about, you know, the defamation case by Jen McKay, Brian Albert, Brian Higgins, and Colin Albert against Aidan Carney and Karen Reed. And as I was going through it, I was looking at all these footnotes and realizing that every single footnote that is in that defamation suit is a video that I don't know why they didn't do this. I mean, I think it's probably because these are the same people that made this copy 50 times or whatever and then uploaded it, and it was 2,500 pages long when it should have been 50 pages long. These are the same people that did that, and so their footnotes are not like, okay, here's a hyperlink to this video where Aidan Carney is saying this thing, and here's the time code for it. That's not in the footnote. What the actual footnote is, it's the entire video, it's the entire stream, or it's the entire whatever it might be. So I was thinking about maybe as sort of an in-between on the retrial stuff, taking all those footnotes and sort of watching those live with you, watching the actual hyperlink footnotes in this defamation case live with an audience and like working through what was going on, because I think some of it is really important because it goes back to some of Aidan's original reporting on this case and like reporting from outside of the courthouse. And then some of it is interview footage that Karen did, you know, documentary stuff. Yeah, that's fine. She's a lawyer and I'm not, so I have a different take on it. So
yes, I know Ryan is worth $400 million. I said billionaire to be hyperbolic, so you can stop correcting me now. I know that he's a part owner of Aviation Gin, which sold for a lot of money. I know that he owns the football team. I know that he the Mint Mobile stick. He's very, very rich, was my point.
Yeah.
Billionaire was a shorthand term that for accuracy purposes I shouldn't have used. I'm very sorry to offend you.
I usually call him a gazillionaire, so like that one's the technical term. And I know all these other huge creators have done this, but those huge creators are not me and they're not Rebecca, and I have a different take on it. I will also say like, it's great that everybody's doing it, but the actual person who the lawsuit is against and that these footnotes are about is Aidan Carney, and Aidan Carney did all of them himself. So I don't know, if you guys don't want to see it, that's totally fine. Let me know, but I'm not going to not do it because somebody else did it. You know what I mean? I think we all have different perspectives. And like when we were talking about this the other day, we waited for a little while to talk about the defamation case because we're not lawyers. We're coming at it from a journalistic standpoint. And what I'm interested in, because these footnotes are actually not about the legal side of things, they're actually about the journalism side of things, which is interesting to me. So I do think it's interesting to go through and show some of the original reporting that Aidan was doing on the case and why it's actually like really important. So that was my thought. I would love to hear your opinions. Just like I'll post it on the post page on our YouTube and you guys can let me know. But again, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to. It doesn't matter to me if somebody else has done it because I'm not the same as other people, you know, and that's all.
I have a thought.
Yeah.
That kind of, I think, speaks to our wheelhouse. So
Mhm.
take a case like Murdoch, for example, or the Scott Peterson case, or John Benet Ramsey murder, et cetera. It would be interesting to talk about the case through the lens of the media that was around it at the
Mhm.
time. The Murdoch
Mhm.
case has a great media story, in addition
We
to
could probably
having,
get Mandy on. Wouldn't we be able to get? I feel like we might be able to get
yeah,
Mandy Matney
she's
on.
making a new podcast, but we might be able to get her on. But it's but even talking about it dispassionately, like how the media influenced the case, et cetera, there might be some there with some of these. And I think that, like, especially when you have the big moments in a trial, like what was the headline that day, it's something that we should think about doing. I
Mhm.
think the media coverage of true crime, I mean, my whole other podcast is about that. So
Yeah.
it's interesting. It's important. It really influences what people think about the government. So anyway,
LOL, Amanda. Yeah, I think,
I
I
would love
wanna
to
know.
talk to Dick Harpootlian,
I
former
would
chair
too.
of the South
Mhm.
Carolina Democratic Party.
Yep.
Dick
Yep.
Harpootlian, who was
Yep.
key to having South Carolina remain second in line in the primary process.
Mhm. Yep. I
New
wonder
Hampshire
what will
and
become of.
South Carolina, which South Carolina should not be first in the primary process. Just they
No.
shouldn't be.
Joelle said, I wonder what will become of the Michael Miller case. Yeah, I'm interested to see what happens with that too. I mean, it's about time JP Miller had some accountability here. So we'll see what happens. Melissa said that they would love to see us go back through the John Bonet case. I don't think I could.
There was no
no
trial.
case. There was no trial.
case.
Yeah.
It's an unsolved case. The media coverage of it is interesting, but there's a detective who thinks he solved it, and I agree with him. He doesn't have a perpetrator, but I believe that it was somebody who broke into the house. After reading about this case for many, many years, listening to the investigators who worked on it, hearing what the FBI kind of resolved, et cetera.
I mean, I think we could probably talk it out because we probably have different. I mean, I know you said that it was nobody in the family, but I can't get away from the brother.
It wasn't him.
The brother.
It wasn't him.
Know?
Because the FBI says it wasn't him. It wasn't him.
So what?
There's no evidence it was him other than people theorizing it was him. That's the only evidence it was him. It wasn't him.
Who gave her?
You think he made a Garrett?
Who gave her the pineapple? How
you think he made a garrote or garrote or whatever it's called?
I'm not saying he made a garrote. I'm not saying he made a garrote. I'm saying that garrotes that could have already been made and he could have used it.
Nope.
He could have seen somebody use it. Yeah, we need to do a members only on Maura Murray. We need to do a members only on John Bonet.
I have such strong feelings about Maura Murray.
I know. That's what Amanda was just saying. They would like to see a members only. So I think what we'll do is we'll start putting together a list of the cases that we can do members only stuff on. That would be like Maura Murray or John Bonet or I don't know.
Do you know that there was
the vintage cases
DNA found in the John Bonet case that did not match anybody in the family?
No.
Exactly. There's a handwriting analysis done on everybody. There was new DNA found. There's like so much evidence that it was an outside person.
I still think it was her brother.
It wasn't. And I don't want him to sue us. He won $70 million from CBS.
I said, I think it is my opinion. Good God.
It's my opinion that Maura Murray ran away and died in the woods. And I will die on that hill.
We have already argued about this, and that is not the right thing.
It is 100%. I will
not
I
if
will
there were
eat my
2
hat.
feet of snow. There's no. And if there were 2 feet of snow in the woods, there's not.
New England girl doesn't matter.
I know. I grew up in the
I love
snow.
fighting about this.
I used to run through the woods. I used to run through the woods on my own when I was getting ready for soccer. And I'm telling you, there would have been tracks, and B, somebody would have heard her, and C, if there was no other side to the woods, she wouldn't have made it out. And her body would still be there.
Well, her body is still there. It just hasn't been found.
They have searched everything in New Hampshire for her.
Have you been to New Hampshire? You can't search everything here.
I am from New Hampshire.
Oh, God, you're quitting smoking has been not great.
Hey, I'm doing all right. Okay.
You're doing fantastic. I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you.
Thank you. Okay. We should probably wrap this up. I need to
We
go
should?
make dinner.
How come?
Well, because I have to go make dinner for our children.
Oh.
I'm making homemade pizza tonight. But I think that we have a lot of good ideas for. You're welcome to
Okay.
stay on if you want to stay on with the
Wait,
people.
this is wrong. They did test the DNA. Why do people think they didn't test the DNA? It was like 2007 or 2008.
Rebecca's gonna fight with y'all.
They were cleared. They were cleared. I don't understand why. Like this is the media stuff. Oh, you know what else we can talk about someday?
Why is it really? Wait, hold on. Why is it really cruel to implicate her Spectrum brother? Why? Why is it cruel? If I think he's an actual suspect, there's nothing cruel about that. Mel Hard. I mean, you guys can all disagree with me. It's totally fine. Totally fine.
Hard to
the Amy Griffith case might be interesting. Yeah, the Amy.
I'm
Griffith
sorry.
case.
He didn't win $70 million against CBS. It says 750. I'm pretty sure it's 70. I'm pretty sure that's not right.
750,000 or million.
He won a lot of money against CBS. A lot. He sued the BBC. He sued, 700. He sued for 750 million. Yeah, he won a lot of money. And Jim Clemente had to. This is problematic. This is really problematic. Oh my God. The poor Ramses, man. The poor freaking Ramses. If it's not bad enough.
But okay, let me ask you this then. Maura Murray. What do you think of Maura Murray's dad?
I think he's a nutbag who did not have anything to do with the death of his daughter.
I don't think he had anything to do with the death of his daughter either, but I don't think he's a nutbag either. Why do you think he's a nutbag?
Well, it's not that he's a nutbag. Let me put it this way. The Murrays are people who have actively interfered with media reporting and investigations around their family members' disappearance / death. They have successfully gotten so many puff pieces written about them that are filled with things that are just like unrealistic, untrue, blah, blah, blah. They know how to work the system, the media. I've heard rumors that the investigators will not speak to them anymore because they are so relentless in their, and also not just relentless, but also weaponized, like the different facets of the legal system in New Hampshire. That case is insane to me because I believe, I am 98% sure that she died from misadventure. Okay. And you can disagree. The fact that the New Hampshire Attorney General's office had to dig up a basement just to get people to stop harassing them, which is why they did it, is wild. And it speaks to the addiction people have to this case and the mythology around it. It is not a complicated case. It's not a mystery. I mean, it could be, but even if she disappeared, she did not encounter a serial killer in upstate New Hampshire during a snowstorm like that. She did not. Like, she didn't. But it's an interesting, it's just pre-social media. So people could like love chewing on it and they think of it as this big mystery, but you have this alcohol abusing young person who was in a state of deep despair, trying to drive to one of her favorite places, got lost. Something happened to her. It's not that complicated. So anyway, I think that case is wild. I think it's wild that it's spurned such a cottage industry. I don't think that's the one that should have spurned a cottage industry.
I mean, I think it's fascinating. And I think it's these cold cases, especially when, the media really grabs onto it in the beginning and it's a cold case, it's that people love cold cases. We have takes on Amy Bradley as well. We talked about Amy Bradley earlier on in the show. But I wanted to answer Mary's comment or Mary's question. Mary Mack asked, can you explain the difference in membership and join? I'm going to actually put it up on the screen so you guys can see it. Because I know it's super confusing. And when I first started signing up on YouTube stuff, it was really confusing to me too. Let me do a different account so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm going to pull up the Something's Off account so you guys can see what it looks like when you go to it. Hold on. All right, Mary. So membership. So you can join and membership are actually the same thing. So if you see you can't see anything because I don't have it on the screen. So here at the top of the page where underneath our like logo-y thing where it says Something's Off and then it says 7.65 subscribers, go subscribe. 470 videos, all that stuff. Do you see where it says join? There's like a little star button. If you click that button, it's going to bring up a menu, and this is what it looks like. So you can click, oh, apparently there's a promo. I did not say there should be a promo, but I guess there is. There are 2 different membership tiers. One is $2.99. That's the what, and then the $5.99, the are you fucking kidding me tier. These are the 2 different tiers that we have. Also, Rebecca, I didn't tell you this, but I made little, I made badges for all the members.
Badges.
Yeah, so they all get like, I'll allow it and dance and you're hot and all that stuff.
Ooh.
So you can, so if you want to join, Mary, you pay a little extra per month and you get access to our members only videos. If you want to do the second level up, you'll get access to our ad-free member only videos. But if you just want to subscribe, if you don't have money to do that, totally understand. You can subscribe and that helps our numbers on the page. But the join button and membership are the same thing. So if you want to become a member, you click join, and that's how you become a member of the community. So, and then Jen said, this is a good point. Membership means you support Mel and Rebecca so they can continue giving us great coverage on recent cases and awesome banter.
So let's make this channel popular, shall we?
Yeah, we're working on it. Okay, I want to say one other thing about the join button. If you decide to join and become a member and you don't do it from a desktop, so like if you do it from your phone, Apple, if you do it from an iOS system, Apple's going to charge you more than what we charge. So I would highly suggest signing up for the membership from a desktop, from your laptop.
Correct.
Because you won't be going through an app store. You won't be doing anything like that. It'll be the regular price of $2.99 or $5.99, but Apple ads.
Help Mel buy all that nicotine gum she needs.
Seriously.
Are you doing any cessation treatment or like
I'm doing
medical?
Nothing. The only thing I'm doing and I showed these to the audience the other day. This is how I quit last time. These are tea tree and mint toothpicks. That's what I'm doing. Is right.
And then also you can subscribe to our videos, get alerts about when we're going to go live, find out when we are live, and and increase our popularity. Pushing us up the algorithm is always great.
And Rebecca, you should put together an Amazon wish list. I put one together and it was cathartic.
Really?
I'm not used to asking for things, so putting together a wish list was really fascinating.
Can I put together a wish list with the understanding that I just want to display what I want and I don't actually expect people to get it for me?
What would be the point of that? I don't understand. I don't understand. I do think I was saying before, I do think it's really interesting. Like, I think you can learn a lot about a person by looking at their wish list. Like, you should go look at mine. It's me too.
I took a peek at yours the other day. It's pretty intriguing.
Yeah. You can learn a lot about.
Do you think somebody doesn't know you'd be able to open your wish list and realize immediately that you were a lesbian?
Probably. I didn't put a lot. There's not like a lot of clothes. Like, I'm always weirded out by people put clothes on their wish list. I don't know why. But
I just bought a great skirt from Amazon. A great skirt with pockets. Yes, actually, both hosts are menopausal. Just FYI. Yeah, and HRT.
Not only are we
I am using
menopausal,
HRT. Yeah.
I had a hysterectomy last year, but I kept my ovaries.
Yeah.
So I'm dealing with all the shit that ovaries bring
without any of the benefits. You don't get any of the benefits of the hysterectomy.
Yeah.
I have HRT. I do the patch and a little cream, and it really helps. It super helps. It just doesn't cure menopause. A little cream in the secret place. Although I have an issue. If anyone can help me get the sticky stuff off my body from these patches, I'd appreciate it. I do not want to use Goo Gone on my skin, but I always get these. Oh, okay. I always get these like round, because I was only on for 3 days. I'm like, how dirty am I? I shower every day, for goodness sakes. Anyway.
Yeah. Just alcohol. Oh, you know what? Actually, you know what does it? If you don't want to use alcohol because it's harsh, coconut oil.
Oh.
Coconut oil. Lesbians love the coconut oil, if you know what I mean. There's always a jar somewhere.
So many lesbian secrets being revealed.
I know.
Well, Mel, I hope that you're feeling better. How many days do you think it will take for you to get over the?
It usually only takes 3 days. I'm on day 3 right now. So,
And that's when you get over the cranks, or are you going to keep being
that's when
cranky?
you get over, I might be a little, you're like, then is that when you're going to keep being cranky?
No, I think you're great. I honestly think you're great. I love salty Mel. I just want to know how long I'm going to have salty Mel in my life.
Rub it, don't drink it. You can drink coconut oil. It's actually good for your stomach.
You can eat it straight right from the jar if you want to.
You can. That's what I give Ruby for a treat sometimes.
People, you shouldn't buy the fancy stuff that comes in like a lotion jar. Just get the cooking kind, because it's exactly the same. It is literally the same product.
There is not a Subaru on my Amazon wish list, but there are 2 kayaks.
Are there any dog beds?
One of them, there is, and one of them is camouflagey. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
There are no cargo shorts or anything like that, but there is some tennis gear. There's lots of like manly cooking stuff, like a brick stone with like a.
I was gonna put a
black stone, not a brick stone.
Black stone on mine if I did one. I want to get one for Kevin.
Yeah. I want a black stone real bad.
I want a black stone too. I think it'll fit on my deck. We can make it fit.
HRT cream or pill form?
I use the patch and the cream.
Jen,
I was using the pill. It didn't work that well.
I am quitting smoking. That's what we're talking about.
Yes.
What kind of hairless dogs?
Look at that toothpick. You look like real Brian. You look like real Brian Albert coated right now.
I told
like
you
Brian
this is how
Higgins coated.
This is how I have the gap. This is how I have the gap, because when I was a kid, well, I wanted to be a vampire. So I had this one fang like this, and I was like, arr, arr, arr. And I would do this, and I opened up my teeth. Oh my God. And I made a gap.
Well, one thing to know is that we are going to be playing with the time of our streams. Right now we're planning on continuing to do Monday morning, doing a members only Monday evening, and then Thursday. Right now we're doing early morning, but we are going to start thinking about evenings more, because guess who has more time now that she just lost one of her biggest jobs? This girl.
Oh my God.
I want you all to feel bad for me. You don't understand like how important that job was for my life. Like, it was so important.
I'm sorry. That's
okay.
And it makes you have to, like, psychologically, you take a little bit of a hit. I'm sure.
It's a big psychological hit. It's a big financial hit. It's a big end of an era kind of situation.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But like, I get to watch way less stuff because I have to. And those interviews were all over the place. The interviews were at 5:30 a.m. is killer on the West Coast. The interviews were like fun. Sometimes they could be nerve-wracking, but they were all over the calendar. Like, as you know, like, I'm doing a Netflix interview at 11 o'clock on a Friday. I'm doing a Netflix interview at 1:30 on a Monday. And it was very disruptive to my other work. It was very disruptive to my day job. Disruptive to us being able to record the podcast sometimes, because if a director was only available at that time, that's when we did it. So I'm actually looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to being a little more like, Netflix gave us the flexibility to be spontaneous and thoughtless sometimes. And that's been great. It's been great. A lot of it coincided with our empty nester years and our kids celebrating milestones. That's all great. I think that there's nothing wrong with being more mindful and less careless in your life. And I am actually looking forward to kind of going back to that. But I do miss the job already. I miss the people. People are great. Sorry. Anyway.
Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. I know you loved that. You loved that project, and you've been doing it for a long time, and I understand. That's how I felt. This is not anything the same, but I had that dog walking company for 13 years. And then when the pandemic hit, it fell apart. It took 2 years, but it totally just fell apart. And to have something, I felt the same way about it. It really like afforded me. I only worked 4 hours a day. I was outside with dogs for those 4 hours. So the rest of my time was spent on creative projects, on, writing scripts or doing whatever. And I had it for 13 years, and it was comfortable. And I loved it. I loved the dogs. I obviously would never expect a pandemic to happen. And even in the beginning, when the pandemic happened and my client list was cut in half, I was still able to, during a pandemic, go out with these dogs and like at least see other people, even if it was from a distance. But the pandemic eventually killed it. And I lost my business of 13 years.
Yeah.
And that's where, so yeah, I
People are being
understand.
very sweet. I really appreciate all of you. This is really nice, guys. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe some
But
other gig. Maybe somebody who heard me on that show or like knows me from that show will hire me to do something else that pays okay.
no, I don't know when the Netflix doc is coming out for Pam Smart. Hopefully in the next
Well, I'm
couple
not
of
going to get
months.
to interview the director about it now.
I know. That's what I was just thinking.
Also, so I think the key though is to make this channel so popular that we can do it more. We can justify doing more of it, and I can feel like I've at least plugged a little bit of a hole in that in that income deficit that we suddenly have. Anyway,
We're
I have
getting
a
there.
great
I mean, I think that this is the thing. I love that this is our work, and this is my work right now. And I love that instead of, like when you're doing something, sometimes when you're doing your work and you're like, "Ooh, I need a break. This is, I'm exhausted. I'm overwhelmed by these stories or whatever." What I've discovered in the past 5 months of doing the show with you and having this channel is that I'm constantly thinking of ideas of like how to go on because I love it so much. I also love that we changed from a recorded format, recorded and edited, to a live to tape format.
Same. So much better.
It's so much better, and we can communicate with the audience and we can be more ourselves, and we're not worried about time, and we're not worried about all these things. And so I love this channel, and I love doing what we're doing, and because I wake up every day and I'm like, "Oh, I'd really like to go on today." That's why I wanted to do the retrial thing, because I was like, "Okay, I can help this guy Edric Foss get more eyes and ears on his case, but I can also do the thing that I love to do, which is stream." And just unfortunately, not enough people showed up,
Yeah.
So I've got to figure out what to do about that. And like we've been talking about ROI and stuff, but then we sit down and we do a stream like this, and it feels really good. And
it's all over the place.
I want to do it every day,
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, I'm sorry that I was gone for part of the stream with my stomach issues. I feel great now. Thank you, Jen's dog, Jonah. And congratulations on your dog being cat of the week a few years ago. I love it when dogs are cats of the week. They are my favorite. Somebody says the cruise content channels I follow are huge. Same with a guy who camps with his dog in Minnesota. I actually want to do a channel with for Kevin. Because he's a new cook. He's an amazing new cook. Like he's learned how to cook in the last couple of years, and he uses an AI assistant to help him cook. They create recipes together, and I think that would be a really cool thing to do. Anyway, we appreciate all you guys so much. And Mel,
yes,
good luck getting over this hump.
I'm almost there. I've done it before. I've done it before. I quit for almost 15 years.
Well, so. I am rooting for you, big time, friend.
Thank you, friend. I appreciate you. And I am sorry to hear about one door closing, but I'm sure a bunch of other doors are going to open. And that means we can focus a little bit on this and make this channel our
Mel's workshop videos. That's a good idea, Mel. You could do like a little building with Mel. A little Mel the Builder.
I would be so bad at that. So bad
Mel
at that.
The Builder.
They would be so bad. They'd be so bad. Yeah, because I'm not like classically trained is the only way I can. I was trained by my grandfather who, he threw shit together.
That's great. So, throw shit together with Mel.
But I don't do it the right way. You know what I mean? I just like do shit.
Well, remember my members only very uninteresting videos of me doing skincare and makeup and hair are going up on our members only part of the channel soon. ASMR hangout with Mel. Very, very
I will do some ASMR if you guys want.
The fun would be in the chaos. I agree with this very, very much. I love chaos. Love it.
That doesn't sound like fun to me.
I have a couple of YouTube, like foodie YouTube types that I really love, or online. My favorite YouTuber or my favorite online person is the Chef Reactions guy. Freaking love that guy. I even have the Chef Reactions apron that has the numbers that slide 10 out of 10, 5 out of 10. He's great. Awesome. But I follow a couple of creators in the other spaces like food and stuff. And whenever they level up and their videos get fancy, I lose interest. I love homemade. I love videos that are filmed in a real house, not a set kitchen, not with great lighting, where someone literally just shows us how they make a thing. That's my favorite kind of video. And so maybe I'll make a Kevin cooking video and share it here and see if you guys like it. And if you like it, then maybe that could be the basis of his channel. Who knows? Who knows? So many possibilities.
Yeah, there's a lot
Anyway,
to talk about for sure.
we're really dragging this out. We don't want to say goodbye.
I know. But I do
just
need
feel-
to go make dinner for the kids.
All right. I got to go make dinner for myself. Kevin's at a baseball game an hour away. So,
Oh, wow. Okay.
yeah, I'm not going to.
All right. Well, we love you all. Thank you all so much for being supportive of the channel. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and comment.
Leave a
It
tip.
helps our algorithm. Leave a tip. QR code's at the top of the page. Venmo is at the bottom. The Cash App is $ something's off tip.
Mel,
Something's off. Yes.
I
know I'm
swear to
talking
God,
I
in
know.
a week when you're feeling great, I need you to come back and watch this part of this video.
Yeah. I'm grifting over here. This is me grifting.
No. It's not that. It's your general affect. You're so salty in a way that I super like. You're like all those relatives in New Hampshire that you're always talking about.
I really don't feel that way, but okay. I guess I was really, what's the weirdest feeling about this whole thing is not like, if you're not like, I'm not feeling anxiety because I'm like missing the chemical addiction. I'm fucking angry. I'm so angry. That is the one emotion that I'm feeling is anger that I can't do something, anger at myself for doing something stupid, anger that like, I don't have control and I'm just fucking mad. Like, I'm so mad. You should see me driving today. Like I was road rage city today. It was awful.
I love this. Well, you never have to apologize for having feelings to me unless the bad feelings are about me.
No. Oh, I talked to, I talked to today. I thought of you. I talked to our friend Amber Hunt today.
I love Amber. Amber Hunt, great journalist, great podcaster. She's the best.
Really great journalist. Yeah. I was talking to her because I'm really struggling. I told you this before. I'm really struggling with the season 2 for in between podcasts. I've been trying to put together this Sunnyside rapist case that happened in like the 80s and 90s in West Virginia. I'm 4 episodes into the writing and I'm stalled completely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk to Amber about it. I guess she's feeling the same way about some of her cases. So we've just, I don't know. It's so strange to.
It's ennui.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's DTF St. Louis style ennui is what's going on here.
God, I don't want to be that.
I know. All right. Let's let these fine folks go.
Hold on. One question for you. Who do you identify with most on DTF?
Probably the blonde wife who's in one scene.
Oh my God, you're right. She's only in like a couple of scenes. Do you know what I said throughout the entire time that we watched it?
What's that?
Oh my God, am I Floyd? Oh, babe, am I Floyd?
You got a little bit of Floyd in you where you're kind of an angel. You're kind of a saint. You're always thinking about other people's feelings.
No, I was not thinking about it that way. I was thinking, am I a freaking deadbeat loser? Like, am I Floyd?
Floyd's not deadbeat.
God.
Floyd's a saint. Floyd is literally like a saint. I think the show is sort of about sainthood in some ways.
I love that he is a sign language interpreter.
So if you want to hear us do this conversation about other pop culture things, become a member because we're going to be talking about DTF next week, and we'll talk about other things that you want us to watch and talk about. Maybe that's how I'll get my TV watching in. But I'll say it's a very interesting show, and I think it's a morality play where you have a perfect human and the world does not know what to do with him is kind of what it's about. And it doesn't start out that way. It starts out very standard murder mystery situation. So it gets real weird. It gets real weird real fast. I love it.
It's so good. It is like, it's so good.
I'm so happy in some ways for David Harbour, who just had the most horrible few months where now, again, we're going to get into the cheating conversation, where his ex-wife, Lily Allen, wrote a whole album about what a cheating fucking cheater he is. And instead of withdrawing from the world and going to counseling or therapy, he's just like, I'm going to just keep doing my job. I'm sorry that I'm a shitty husband or whatever, but I'm just going to keep doing my job. Like that's, I not that I think what he did is good. I obviously don't, but I was worried that we're going to sort of lose this like really great actor who did not commit any crimes as far as we know.
Do you think he was wearing a prosthetic?
He was wearing a fat suit. Yeah.
Okay.
A dick? Yes, he was definitely wearing a prosthetic dick, but he's also wearing he was wearing a fat suit. Yeah. And I think it's the most unobjectionable fat suit I have ever seen in any piece of media.
So I couldn't tell. It was so good. Okay, so guys in the audience, everybody, if you want to hear us talk about DTF, we are going to talk about DTF next week. I think next
Monday.
I don't know when Monday is the one we're doing the McAlberts.
Oh.
we're not going to do the pop culture. We're only doing the pop culture one once a month. So we got to
All right.
figure out what day that's going to be. So all of you who have not seen DTF St. Louis, it's on HBO. Yeah.
Mhm.
Go watch it. It's like 6 episodes, 8 episodes, something like that.
It's short,
It's
yeah,
a short.
yeah.
It's a short series. Go watch it because I really don't want to give you any spoilers because one of the things that's so amazing about this show is the way that they unpeel the onion
Mhm.
and you get to the facts, and the point of view of how you're learning about it is fascinating. So go
It's
watch it.
constructed
'Cause
very, very well.
I really don't want to give any spoilers away if
No,
you
I
haven't
won't.
seen it. So
No, the one thing that I do like about it too, and I want people to watch for this, is it does a lot of tropey stuff that every procedural does. A pair of cops, one crotchety, one young, whatever. But it does all the tropey stuff in a completely different way.
yes,
So it's not
yes,
tropey anymore. So anyway,
I
Jason
love it.
Bateman is now his new actor as an evil guy. He's always evil guy and stuff. Love it.
He's so good. Yeah, he's
Love
so
it.
good.
But David
He's so
Harbour
good.
is, I'm also, by the way, I also love Lily Allen. I'm not trying to say that what he did to her was good. What I'm saying is I really love him as an actor, a performer, and he is revelatory in this show. He's playing a character with so many layers and he plays them all like pitch perfect. And he also hip hop dances on the show. So
we also can't forget Linda Cardellini, though. She is.
Oh, yeah. Kevin loves her. Kevin has a huge crush on her.
I have a huge crush on her, too. When I saw she was in this, I was like, yes, but she's such an asshole.
Kevin thinks she's so sexy.
I do, too.
Really?
I'm with Kevin. Yeah,
okay.
I do, too. Yep. Even in her umpire gear. I don't have an issue with that.
Kevin had a lot to say about the umpire scenes. Okay.
Okay.
Watch DTF St. Louis. We'll talk about it next week, maybe like Thursday or something, Wednesday night, Thursday night, something like that.
Yep.
And then Monday night, we're going to have our members only, where I, for the first time, watch the Nightline featuring the House defendants, which I've never seen because I'm a baby.
You lied.
She's
never seen it, you guys. She's never seen the McAlbert / Proctor.
I literally talked about it on the show as if I had seen it. I just read articles
interview.
About it. Yep.
That happened right after the second Karen Reed trial, which means she has not seen that roundtable interview with the McAlberts when they're all defending themselves, and especially Brian Albert. She's going to see it for the first time with you all.
I made a show with you about it and pretended as if I had seen it.
I can't believe you lied to me.
I didn't want to open that email. I didn't want to listen to that voice memo. You know how it is.
I understand. It's uncomfortable. I get it. I appreciate you being honest about it. Now you're going to have to watch it.
I'm trying to think of anything else I lied to you about watching.
Oh, Jesus.
I did watch the horrible movie. I did not watch the Proctor interview on 2020. Didn't watch that either.
That's what this is.
Oh. I thought there was a separate
it's all
Proctor.
one. No. 2020 Nightline. It's all the same thing. Yeah.
Oh.
So we're watching it. That part's really uncomfortable because he's by himself. If you want to talk about neck wobble or like necks moving and stuff, I got one for you.
Is Carrie?
No, yeah, I think she might be like in one, like a separate interview with either her lawyer or her husband. I'm not really sure. I don't know if it's that one or if it's a separate one she did, but it's literally Jen McCabe, Matt McCabe, Brian Albert, Nicole Albert, Chris Albert.
Coco, Irish poverty face herself.
No Higgins. And then there's a separate interview with Michael Proctor, and David Muir is asking him some tough questions that he doesn't answer very well. But none of them think they did anything wrong. They're all like, they're the victims.
No, they know. They know what they did. They know what they did.
You know what you did.
I love David Muir, by the way.
I do too. Okay, we have to go.
All right. Go make dinner for your family. Get that toothpick out of your face. No, keep that toothpick in your face.
I don't have it in my mouth anymore.
Appreciate that. Can I just show you one thing before you go?
Yes.
You have to see how stupid Stuart looks with his new haircut.
Okay. Stewie. Oh, buddy.
See how his ears were cut short, but his hair's all long?
He looks like an Ewok.
He looks like an Ewok.
He does. Stewie, everyone loves you, buddy. You're so cute.
This is Stuart,
Why is he licking the air?
He's
my
15.
God.
He's trying to lick my face, but I won't let him because his breath smells like fish.
Oh, buddy.
Anyway.
Okay.
Briscoe looks way worse. They just shaved Briscoe because he was so mad. He looks horrible. His head is way too small for his body. He's got a Carrie Roberts situation too, where his neck is so big. his neck is bigger than his head, so he would put the
He's
collar
got a
on
chode
him.
head.
He can just slip right out of his collar. Yeah,
He's got a chode
he's
head.
got a Carrie Roberts situation. Okay, let's go.
Okay. All right. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.